Being without you has me craving over loving you has me dazing. You light me up, your lips take me in. Addicting drug, you're my bad habit. I find it never lasts unless I'm with you. You're the feeling that I want, can't feel it without you. It's a game that I always lose. I'd rather lose as long it's with you. You light me up, your lips take me in. Addicting drug, you're my bad habit. It's a feeling that I can't overcome. A little hazy from your love, now I'm feeling buzzed.
I've been thinking about it daily, I'm an addict and it feels so bad, but it's good at the same time. Thinking like my favorite drug, favorite word, favorite song, favorite horn, get a beat to my damn rhymes. I don't know if you know, when I'm with you, I be gone, Look, and you're like a bad habit that I can't shake. Another pill that I know that I shouldn't take. Steady doing when I know that we need a break. But for what? When I know that it's too late. When I know I can't have it and it's tragic, but it feels like magic. God damn, and it feels so good. I guess I'm an addict for your love and a fool for you. Cause girl, you're like my damn drug.
It's a game that I always lose. I'd rather lose as long it's with you. You light me up, your lips take me in. Addicting drug, you're my bad habit.
Well. What's up, guys? What's up,
What's going
everybody?
on?
Thank you, guys. Sorry we're late, but Chris, we've been waiting on Chris. He had to go to the bathroom, and 1 minute
Yeah.
turned to 5 minutes, and now we went ahead and run that 3-minute countdown. There he is.
I'm right here. What are you talking about?
What's up, brother?
I actually replied to the people on my YouTube channel while you were running your.
I'm sorry, Mr. Fancy Pants. I mean,
Yeah.
some of us ain't got. I don't even have any YouTube subscribers, man. So if you're there, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
there's somebody on your channel. I think
Somebody,
it's
yeah,
actually me.
Now,
funny.
what's up, gentlemen? I know I didn't really plan on doing anything. Well, I guess it was kind of to see what happens as far as a Monday, but my boys reached out to me and said, let's get up here and talk. Let's talk about some things. So I'm here, and I want to see what you guys think about them Bengals, Chris. I'm just joking. That's a joke.
Listen,
Cut it out.
all I'm going to say is I formally apologize from the state of Ohio to all Raven fans everywhere. That was the Ravens did good. So they did, but I want to not for the state of Ohio, for Indiana, because that the Colts, what a win that was. Did you see that? Look at the thumbs down. Where did the thumbs down come from? So you figured that out?
I figured it out. Yeah, it's my Mac. Yeah, it's my Mac.
I thought so. Yeah.
Actually, it's my iPhone because I use my iPhone as my camera, right? You can off a Mac, you can share your it's cool. It's pretty cool. And you get you get FaceTime. It's a FaceTime feature. I get all kinds of stuff. So I was playing with it before we went live. I was like, oh man, let me go ahead and shoot the finger at you, Chris. Here we go. Oh, that's the wrong one. But you know which one I meant. You know which one I meant.
The okay one.
But I never pressed the buttons before. I don't know why it did it on its own before. Remember, because you would actually see things, and I'm like, I don't know what.
I thought it had something to do with like your channel or something, like because you got the balloons the one time.
I've always got balloons, bro.
Oh my God,
it's a party. It's a party all the time.
So now you can just do it on demand.
Yeah. So if you've got the latest iOS update on both for me, if you're using your iPhone, you should be able to do it. But on a Mac, I can cue all the features from. If you've got FaceTime on your iPhone, all those features you can do it while using your camera, which is pretty cool. Like portrait mode, right? So I turn that off. Now it's not blurry, right? So, but center stage where my camera should follow me. Well, maybe not, but oh well. Oh, there it is. So you see how it zooms in and zooms out. Yeah, there you go. So if I kind of go off frame.
Did you want us to leave you alone with your?
Well, you asked me, and I was just excited to talk to you about it.
You and your.
Look what I did, Chris. Usually I'm learning from you. Now you get to learn from me, right? There it is.
I think that's the other way around. Tell you the truth.
So what's up? What's up going on, guys? What's going on in the old crypto world, man? I'm in it, but I haven't been in it for a while. Anything going on with Vitruvio? Any news? I know we were talking about who was it? Actually, Nolan, you mentioned it that Barron dropped an announcement the other day. I think it was up.
Actually, it was today. It was.
Was it today?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was today. It was in the validator channel. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up, man. Pull it up.
I'll pull it up and read it. Let's see if I can find it here. I was on the Discord on my phone, so
okay.
I haven't been on Discord on my laptop for a minute, so hang tight.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
But yeah, he made a little announcement. I think it was around like 6:30 Eastern today. So about 3 hours ago, 3 hours ago, in the validator channel. So yeah, let me see if I can bring it up and we'll see what we can make happen.
Okay.
Well, hopefully, it's all good news.
Yeah, I don't think it wasn't too in depth or anything crazy, but he just kind of talked about some of the stuff that was on the agenda. So let's see here, because they had been talking about a split with the validators and the DAO. So apparently he had a Zoom call with Nick Caliani. So yeah, it looks like I've got Discord up. So yeah, let me share my screen, do the whole present thing, and give me a second here.
Okay.
I'll make it happen.
I see you, RSG token. Ain't always a pee break. And Jamrock, I love the strawberries. Appreciate it.
Mr. RSG, it's actually, he comes from the generation. It's the outhouse break. I gotta go to the outhouse.
All right,
when I was born, we had an outhouse. I
know. I have respect to you, brother.
That's how we had to go to the potty.
There we go. I don't know if you guys can you guys see that?
Yeah, looks pretty good.
All right, cool. So yeah, let me run through it real quick for you guys. So this was from Baron Master, who you guys remember what was Master Baron, and back in the old Discord days there. So basically it says, hello validators, Nick Caliani, Alex TF. I had a quick Zoom call to go over. First point was team lead, members and responsibilities. Second point, VIP, the validator incentive program. And he goes on to say the DAO structure has a validators team in the strategy council. Everything else is now obsolete. Therefore, with your permission, I'm stepping in as the validators team lead to continue representing your best interests. Yet, as a part of my responsibilities, I will also be forming the team together to represent your voice. VIP. Taking under consideration all of your concerns, this is a short summary of what Nick and I have come to an agreement with. Number one, the validators incentive pool remains the same and will cover the cost of running VM, which equates to $150. That is US, obviously. Number 2 is the gas price. Baron Master goes on to say, this is a tough one. As per Nick's valuable points, we must be competitive to attract new users to our new blockchain. Being a quote unquote new guy in the space, we must consider our competition like Tezos, Solana, etc. in order to win the users over. This being said, Nick still agreed to the following. Looking into the Binance gas price averaging in around 5 GWI per transaction, Vitruvio will follow its footsteps and will increase the gas price from 1 GWI to 3 to 5 GWI. Gas fee is gas price multiplied by gas used. The gas used per transaction will vary depending on the transaction type itself, whether it's NFT native coins versus tokens transfers between wallets and exchanges. More computation and storage means more gas usage. The third point was profit split. DAO versus validators income split will be at the 50-50 ratio for the first 12 months. After these 12 months elapse, we can discuss and vote for a new percentage split going forward. Number 4, IPFS payment structure to be determined. And 5, node transfer. Nick is open to this idea, but we would need to hire specialists to assist us with this. And then he goes on to say, please let me know what you guys think. And there you have it, gentlemen. Do you guys want me to leave this up on the screen so you can talk about it, or you want me to pull it down?
Yeah, no, leave it up.
Is there anything more down below, or is that it?
No, that's it. I just kind of read it off of my phone, but then there's just other people commenting on it there at that point. But yeah, that was pretty much it. So
you guys are node holders, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, you guys are node holders. Not, I guess it just would be one, but a bunch there.
Right on.
What do you think about that statement? Because to me, I think it's a little give and take, right? I mean, am I reading that right, or is it like?
Yeah, I think it's a little give and take, and the conversation had been going on about the whole DAO validator split for revenue, and I guess they finally agreed to a 50-50 split for the first year, and then after that we'll kind of vote again and take it from there. So I think that's probably a good compromise. I was talking to Kryptonian a little bit earlier and a few days ago as well about that validator DAO split. Me personally, I wanted it to stay kind of fluid just in case the DAO needed more. That way we're not locked in for a year at 50-50. If the DAO needs more, I think we should be able to give the DAO more. If the DAO needs 70%, to advance the blockchain more rapidly, I think we should be able to do that. But it seems like at this point we're locked in at that 50-50. Not saying that the validators and the DAO can't vote to change that, but I kind of wish they'd have left it a little bit more fluid, but at least it's only locked in for a year. So, and then to the other side of that, if the DAO doesn't need the money and everything's rocking and rolling, then give a little bit more to the validators. Again, keep it fluid, but that's just my opinion. And you know what opinions are like.
Well, I think it's pretty valid. I mean,
yeah. And the reason that I say that is because at this point, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
We could launch and we could catch the beginning of the bull market, and the DAOs doesn't really need 50%. It doesn't need half. We could launch and it could still be a bear market. We still are competing with Solana and Tezos, and the DAO may need 80% and the validators get less. So again, I think they should have left it a little bit more open-ended instead of locking it for a year. Again, that's my opinion, but so just because of the unknown portion, let's launch and then kind of lock things in if we're going to lock it in. But until then, I think they should have left it open. But, just my thought process.
Yeah, I think leaving it open is a smart thing to do.
Yeah, and I know you said you'd like a performance-based.
Yeah, definitely performance-based. Like any legitimate company out there that has shareholders being the validators would be, early investors, or whatever you want to say. You get profit whenever the company's profitable. That's and then what do we do as shareholders? I'm just using
that's a good
terms,
analogy.
right?
Yeah.
We elect the right team to make us to build a company that's profitable. If you're not doing your job, we get rid of you. That's what happens. That's why you see CEOs come in and go in most cases for companies. So I mean, that's real world business model that works. It's been working for 1,000 years. It's gonna, why not? And I mean, Chris and I have talked about this. This should be the same sort of business model that crypto companies should have. You know, you build the team comes together. If the team doesn't deliver, the team gets replaced, you know, at the end of the day. I mean, that's how life is. I mean, when you go to work, you want that raise. I mean, guys ask me for raises all the time, you know, and I don't just say, okay. I was like, let's talk about it.
Why. Tell me why.
Tell me why. Tell me why. Yeah. You know, what's going on? Why
Sell me on it.
Yeah.
Sell me on it. Yeah. I need a presentation. Well, I want them to tell me.
Well,
why.
they don't necessarily have to sell you either, because you already know. You're walking in there. You already know the strengths and weaknesses of your employees. You've been watching it for the past, however long they've been with you. So they don't necessarily have to sell you. They just need to emphasize maybe something that's not that you haven't been paying attention to, or maybe put an exclamation point on that, and maybe say, hey, I feel like I'm more valuable because.
Yeah,
but you already know.
Yeah, what I'm looking for is when guys ask me for some sort of bump in pay or compensation or an advance. I've already made the decision.
Sure.
You just have to tell me if I've made the right decision or not. Right. You have to convince me of it. But what I typically look for in my guys, and the teams that I work with, and the way I operate is I try to replicate myself and my team. I always tell my guys that, the guys that work with me and for me, right, that if I get hit by a bus, this operation needs to be able to run as if I never existed. Mm-hmm. So I need to find people to replicate myself, into, because I've gotten it to this level. If I can just 10x myself, that's where it's at. Not only have I built something that I know is sustainable, I've also, I've built a team that's like-minded. I know they're going to put the same fire, integrity, show up, all these things, and that's what I'm looking for, maintain those relationships. But what I typically look for is, tell me why, most importantly, but then at the same time, what could you be doing better? Why haven't you been, you're asking for this bump, right? You're asking for this merit pay, but tell me why you shouldn't get it. That's the true integrity question, right?
What areas do you feel you need to improve still?
Yeah. If you were in my shoes, sitting where I sit, why wouldn't I give it to you?
And I don't know if you do this.
No,
I don't know if you do this, but one thing that always worked really well for me were quarterly evaluations for employees. 4 times a year, and I would give them a survey about themselves and about me. So I'm like, tell me where I can do better. And all my employees would be honest with me, and tell me, well, you haven't been spending much time here lately. You've been doing this, you've been doing that. But at the same time, they would also recognize their own faults, which I thought was pretty important. They knew the things you know the things that you need to work on and where you need to improve. Deep down, everybody does. Where you slack at work.
Does, man.
Yeah, everybody knows. So I find in those, if you can be honest with with yourself and your employer, I think you'll really gain some traction, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm looking for just honesty, right? Full transparency. It's all about integrity with me, and
let's talk about how to get you there.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk. We have roadmaps, and we have short-term, long-term goals, and I always go back to that. I have a performance review for one of my guys here by the end of the week, and it keeps hitting my calendar. I got to talk to this guy. So I'm going back to the last review that we did a year ago, and I can honestly say he's been hitting every mark. So, and I'm going to hold my end of the bargain because he's holding up his. But if he doesn't, it's either, hey, this isn't working out, this isn't for you. I've given you a year, man. A year. And so I don't need you to be on autopilot. I need you to be the pilot. And that's the type of employee, that's the type of team that I want. I don't want a bunch of yes men. I want a bunch of men that execute, right? And that's how
you want a bunch of X-Men.
That's where it is, a bunch of X-Men, right? And I feel like a crypto team should have the same. Yeah.
The
same.
Well, at the end of the day, it's a business.
It is.
Business.
It's fun though. Crypto's fun, man. It is a lot of fun. We get up here, we get to, you know, shoot the shit, man, and, you know, meet people, you know, get to befriend a lot of the community. You know, it's fun, but it is a business at the end of the day. We're trying to convince ourselves that we can do this thing, right? By getting up here, we got this, we can make this happen. At the same time, we're trying to not convince people, hey, we can do this. We're trying to show you that we can. But and if we don't, it's on us at the end of the day. You know, why didn't it happen? I take full responsibility for anything that I've said that was going to happen that didn't happen. It's my bad. But I learned from that, right? Like I said, when people ask me, how am I doing today? I like to say this is my immediate response, you know, better than I deserve, because I fall short every day. But I like, to me, everything is a life lesson. And I'm learning in crypto, it's especially that, because everything moves so fast, you know, and I'm not talking about concept to implementation. I'm talking about, damn, we're in a bear market now, like that, like boom. And all of a sudden, you know, it changes. I mean, I think the entire crypto market is like a candle in the wind, wherever the wind's blowing, you know, and I'm not used to that. Right. I think you guys can definitely relate. Like, okay, you know, when the market starts to drop, people aren't spending money in our businesses, we start seeing it in our bottom line. We pivot and we go, well, okay, there are some things we can do. We can cut some places. We've been putting away for such a time as this. You know, we already knew this was going to be a slow summer, whatever. Can't do that with crypto. I mean, you got to move fast. You got to execute, and then hopefully you get to hang on for that roller coaster ride. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the next bull run. Right. So, anyways,
yeah, man.
But that's what I hope to see with Vitruvio. I think is where we kind of started with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want the team to be built, developed, and I want them to execute on it. You know, I'd like the last time we got to meet the team, Reva, and Fern, and was it Alex was the other gentleman? You know, so I mean, I know they're working behind the scenes, right? Because we've got the devs. You know, Nick's working with the devs. It sounds like he's working with guys like Bob and everything. That's great, right? So if we got guys like Bob looking into this thing and wanting to help and make it happen, that's amazing. That's good. We need that. We need the experts in this field to do that, right? And that actually have experience in building chains. You know, if Bob is jumping in, I trust it's going to be safe, scalable, and probably the best tech that's available, right? It's going to be make it scalable, right? To do the things we want to do. If we're going to have all these things this ecosystem, if we're going to build this ecosystem, make it cross chain and all these things, it needs to be designed well. It needs to be. They need to go back to the drawing board, and I hope that. And I know that Nick has been reaching out to the community and guys like Bob.
Yeah, not just Bob.
Not just Bob.
There's several people that are nameless that we see.
Yeah. I love to see that. I love to see that, because no man is an island unto his own. And when you're in the IT space, you know, you cannot do anything alone. I mean, I first got in IT. I just wanted to be a systems administrator, you know, and then I went from that. Oh, I want to be a systems engineer. I mean, you kind of like, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do that. It's best to be a jack of all and a master of none, because when you become a master of one thing, you tend to have blinders on your eyes, and you kind of get a tunnel vision. This is what I do. This is my discipline. This is all I can do. You can't see the trees past the forest, you know? So, and my point is, if you kind of dabble in a little bit of everything, especially in crypto, right? I mean, there's so much stuff. I mean, you can't just say, "Oh, I'm in blockchain," or I'm in crypto. What exactly are you talking about? You know, DeFi, right? Whatever, decentralized. You're in a centralized exchange. It can go. It's so broad. I like that there's so many places to dabble in. So I think the devs that are out there, there's so many of them. I've already been talking to a few myself. Been reaching out to a few. I put the word out. I'm looking for some devs. You know, man, they're coming back at me hard. Man, they're like, they want to work. They are hungry. You know, and that's what I need. They're thirsty, you know, and I've got plenty of water to drink, man. So I'm excited, guys. I'm excited about where crypto is going. I can't say anything more than that, you know. I mean, this will be my last frontier, end of the day.
Right on.
Yep.
And like we were saying, it's definitely evident that Nick is on point with running this like a business. His presentations, where this thing has gone in such a short period of time since he's taken over. definitely
man.
night and day from the clown show, from Clown World that we came from.
I mean, and I came
Quite
from
refreshing.
Safe Moon, when I first got my DeFi. So I thought those guys were, oh man, just because they're doxxed and we got a guy.
That was the measure of whether this thing's going to be successful.
Yeah, and these guys were young. They were having AMA. They
Right.
did. I remember one of their first AMAs they did. It was like, oh, they're actually getting on. We're meeting the team, the devs, and one of the senior devs or the main dev. He was supposedly like one of the best devs in the space. I mean, he had thousands of followers. So I'm like, oh, this has to work. And then you realize, no, it doesn't. It doesn't have to work. It has to be made to work. And it takes work. It just, these guys made a bunch of money, I guess. There was a lot of rug pulling going on with that Safe Moon bit. But
didn't somebody end up stealing some money from them? Like or something? And
it seemed the pattern seems to be that people tend to buy, the first thing the CEOs do is go buy them a mansion, apparently. That seems to be.
You got to bring up.
Seems to be the men.
You got to bring up 7 Seas.
Yeah, I
What
see.
do you say? What do you say?
You're killing me. Just go to every one of them.
Yeah, and he's not wrong, because I think we all have one of those guys.
He's like, I write performance reviews all the time. This employee is really not so bad, so much as it has been, but more of a definite won't be.
Yeah.
When she opens her mouth, it seems that it's only to change feet. Is my favorite line. This employee is depriving a village somewhere of an idiot. He brings a lot of joy whenever he leaves the room. And the wheel is turning, but the hamster is dead.
Yeah. All classics. All classics.
Oh, man.
I think we've all had at least one of those guys, though. We've all had an employee like one of those examples.
100%,
Thankfully,
man.
I usually cut them out pretty quickly. They don't last very long. So.
They don't, man.
I was on a streak. I was on a streak for a few years where we were going through like oil, like beginner type mechanics and stuff like that. And man, I was just rolling through them, dude. I couldn't find anybody that was worth a damn. It was bad.
Yeah, same here, man. I went through that kind of a dry spell as well, and then I started hiring my daughter's friends right out of high school, and they're great, Dad. They're the smartest kids in school, And I think I told you going about one guy I was training, and I'm like, all right, well, I knew he was green, wet behind the ears. I'm going to teach you some fundamental, I was gonna say crypto stuff, fundamental IT stuff, right? Some basics. Like, let's talk about some A+ certifications or whatever. And just the basics, like what is a hard drive, stuff like that. So we're on a whiteboard. I'm just kind of just mapping stuff out. I'm going at it, bam, 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 bam. Just throwing information on the board. And I look back, and he's looking at his phone like this. He's like, he keeps doing that, and I'm like, so you taking notes? He goes, oh yeah. He goes, he takes a picture of it. I'm like, it's okay. I do that too. You know what I mean? I'm in a meeting.
Yeah.
So after I just filled up the board with a lot of information, I'm like, I'm about to wipe this. We're gonna go to course number 2. You got all this? He goes, yeah, I got it all. And then as I begin to erase it, he goes, wait, crap, man, I took it with Snapshot. I did a Snapchat picture, bro. Anyway, I guess Snapchat, when you take it, it disappears or some. I'm like, well, it was nice knowing you, kid.
That says it all right there.
Bro, come on, man. It's been an hour, man. But anyways, my daughter's
genius.
My daughter's like, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm like, yeah, me too. Yeah.
I will say a lot of the word of mouth employees that were referred to me by other really good mechanics have always worked out for me. Or, some of my higher up guys, because they wouldn't refer somebody to me and put their name on the line if that person wasn't worth a damn. So those were usually the guys that worked out.
Yeah, because it's going to reflect on them, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I had one of those. And he was right out of a Chick-fil-A. All right, and now he's my right hand man. So first job ever, IT job, corporate job, I guess, right out of a Chick-fil-A. And he was referred by another guy who that was referred by a developer that I hired. And anyway, so one guy, the young kid, about 19, refers his friend who's right out of high school, comes to work for me. and he's like, I'm like, look, you know, this guy's gonna be okay. Because yeah, man, he's super smart, whatever. Well, the guy ends up getting caught sleeping by the CEO.
I think you told me that
Yeah,
story.
yeah, like put him in the server room and just sitting here, man. I need to work on
Yeah.
some things here, and he's sitting there sleeping, and the CEO's like, you know, I'm on site, and he's like, the hell's going on over there? And I'm like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. I'll take care of it. So we go walk over there, and he kind of wakes up. He sees us looking at him through the door, and he reaches over and he shuts the door, slams the door on us. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me, dude? Anyways, he denies it to this day. That was tough because I was like, he was referred to me, and if I had acted out of emotion, he wouldn't be the one guy that I solely depend on today. So he's come a long way. You know, it's been 2 years, man. So I just put a lot of time and effort in him because he's a sharp kid, you know. And I'm like, you know, just he stays humble, you know. He stays humble, and that's where it is, man. He stays learning, right? And that's how I am in this space. I'm learning every day in the crypto space. You know, I didn't know what I didn't know, and every day I learn something new.
So let me ask you guys on number 5 with the node transfer stuff that we were just talking about. Not to switch that conversation up real quick, but what is the hire specialist to assist with the node transfer? Why? Like, because they're now bound to our wallet from the KYC? Is that why? So if you go down here, let me scroll down here. So if you go down to number 5, Nick's open to the idea of node transfer, but we would need to hire specialists to assist us with this. So is that mainly because of that?
Well, I would assume it has something to do with where those nodes would go, right?
Because I mean, at the moment, it's just an NFT at this point, and it's still a Vulcan NFT. So, I mean, I know we all KYC'd, and then it kind of gets bound to that particular wallet. So is that why you would need an expert? Or, I mean, I don't see why they couldn't just issue a new NFT for.
Well, wouldn't that mean that they would all have to go through KYC again if they issue?
I mean, I guess I mean, did validators have to be KYC? They're not on every other chain. I mean, if that's what you want, then sure. Does it have to be that way? No. I guess I'm asking. I mean, do you guys know the answer to that?
Validators aren't KYC'd, wouldn't you? Unless they're staking, right? You would want them. If it's proof of authority.
I mean, most other chains, like me personally, I run nodes on 2 other chains, and I never KYC'd.
So this just to educate me on. So if it's proof of authority, you still don't have to KYC. I would think that.
Well, I know Bob and Nick were also talking about going to getting away from proof of authority at some point. So again, I think that all comes back to, maybe that's where the expert help comes in. Again, I'm not sure.
So if the expert help are professional validators, right? Is that what we're talking about? Like,
I'm assuming, because again, we're just talking about node transfer. So at this point, nobody's actually running a physical node. There's no VMs that are up and running. There's no network at this point. So to me,
what exactly
I would think
are VMs
virtual machine. So your
I was
cloud
thinking
server.
that.
Yeah, your
wasn't
cloud
sure.
server that you're running that node on.
Right.
So nothing's actually running at this point. So if Vitruvio wanted to issue new NFTs, I don't see why they couldn't.
Well, they could issue a new NFT, right, to the KYC'd NFTs, right?
They could.
But you're saying, but this is a node transfer. So does this mean that people have nodes, they don't want them in the wallets that they are and want to transfer the nodes? Or?
I'm assuming that's for people that want to sell them, or maybe sell them, or maybe transfer it to a different wallet.
Well, I could see if they're selling them, how that would be something that you would probably need some assistance to make sure that that's.
But professional help, because I mean, I've sold quite a few nodes, and I've just transferred the NFTs. Now, at the time, they weren't KYC'd, obviously. But
I could say that I could say the business aspect of it is I would if I was running a business where an asset that was a part of our network that was individually owned outside of our business, I wouldn't want the peer-to-peer transfer to be not supervised or, you know,
You mean for
basically
like fraud?
yeah, because then all of
Sure.
a sudden you got a bunch of people that are like, well, I trusted Joe and Joe didn't, you know.
Right, but at that point, you don't necessarily need a quote unquote professional. Nick could just say, okay, well, so and so from the team's going to head that up.
True. Or Master
Yeah.
Baron or
Yeah,
Baron Master.
yeah, or whoever. So, you know,
I don't know.
I keep coming back to what is the professional aspect required for? Is it because the nodes are KYC'd? Is it because they're going to change from proof of authority, or what does that look like?
Well, it sees the way it's reading to me. It said no transfer. Nick is open to the idea, but we would need to hire specialists to assist us with this. And maybe that's what he means. He would want like maybe a third party to make sure that, you know, everything was good. You know, I don't know. But you guys are the node. You guys are the node.
Yeah, I guess I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know what what you would need a specialist for, unless it is because that NFT is now bound to that wallet via KYC. So,
right. And like Gus brought up, Gus said that we're all KYC'd. Why should we do it again? I wouldn't think that anybody, if you KYC'd the node.
I mean, a lot of us had questions about what the hell are we doing a KYC for anyway.
Did everybody KYC?
I think for the most part, everybody KYC'd their node NFTs. But I was just under the assumption at some point that it was a money grab for the previous guy.
It was.
I mean, that was part of it, right? So
I mean, you could tell because that's like,
right.
I mean, the only funds we had left were Uxie, right? I mean, if you
I'm sure he either got a kickback from the company that did the KYC, or, you know, there was something there. But you know, I think a lot of us were wondering, what's the KYC for? You know, why KYC? So.
Well, the good thing that comes out of all this stuff is we have a case study in how to identify a batshit crazy scammer.
That is true.
You know, or scammers.
Yeah.
You know, wherever that is, but man, and you know, I don't know about this, and it doesn't seem like it from your Discord, but is there a separate conversation that comes up with the backers, or is that because
I don't have any of those, so I'm not in that.
No.
I'm not in that chat. Yeah, so I'm not sure.
I would hope that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know Shadow X is a backer, but I don't know a whole lot of backers. I might know them, but I don't remember for sure. But I would hope that they got a seat at the. I hope they have like the same type of conversations and everything. And I think Nick did mention that he was.
Yeah, I know. Eris.
Eris Disla. Yeah, he's in the chat.
He's got quite a few. He's got quite a few of the backers, and he shared some stuff with me. So I know they do have a open dialect with Nick and some of that stuff. I was just wondering again if you guys knew where the specialist came in, because I don't. So I was just wondering.
What's up, Ashley?
If you guys knew.
I wouldn't know.
Gotcha.
But
yeah,
I mean, I wonder if he's going to elaborate on this though. You like if we?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something. I would certainly like cleared up, or at least to ask him at some point, or maybe even Baron knows. Maybe I'll reach out to him just to say, hey, what's the specialist for? Is it because they're KYC'd, or are you guys thinking about getting away from the proof of authority? Because I know that's been a topic of conversation after Bob brought it up as well. So. And I think Nick even agreed at one point that might be the right move at some point. Now, I know Nick just wanted to get it launched, but even that's been delayed. So I don't know if that conversation's still on the table or what. So do you guys know if that's still a thing?
What's that, buddy? I wasn't paying attention.
Getting away from the proof of authority.
I know that he mentioned it.
I think it's a conversation.
It's a conversation. Yeah. As of right away, I don't know. But I remember him having that conversation with Bob specifically, and he was really open to it, and it sounded like he understood
why it made sense.
Yeah,
he
he
was
goes,
open to the conversation that Bob was bringing to him.
yeah,
You know what I mean? The way Bob was putting it, they had they had conversation back and forth, and it seemed like they were both coming to a, yeah, I could see how this way, that way. They were kind of like, to me, it looked like it was going to spark a conversation outside of what they were talking about.
Right.
And they were both open to having it. It wasn't like, they were like, we figured it out.
Right. I didn't know if that conversation was still going on, if that was still kind of a, an option, or
That's above my pay grade. So
fair enough.
you know how much you make? Are you serious?
Right.
I make zero. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm not in. No, I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I should
Let
me rephrase that. I retract that from the record. Do you know how much you're worth?
There you
How's that
go.
one?
There you go. There you go.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Sipping your whiskey through a straw
I
tonight,
Googled
huh?
you.
Well, it's a little mixture.
Yeah, there you go. Goes down quicker. Goes
Mixture of
down
what?
quicker.
Like smoke? He's like,
Yeah.
little smoke came out your hand.
Jocko's out there. I had a good conversation with him the other day. He's funny. Did you see Fowler's NFT that oh man, I gotta go bring it out. I was like, good Lord, man.
Tired
something
of,
he
tired of
just-
his NFTs, man. I never win them.
Is it something he just created like recently?
Well, I think that they in the holders chat they enabled like what do you call that? The gifts or whatever. Yeah, here it is right here.
Oh, did he drop them in there in the holders chat?
Well, he dropped one of them, and I was super busy following in NR's footsteps. I'm writing a couple of ebooks, so I was like,
There you go. There you
Oh
go.
man.
I was busy writing all day long, so I was like, man. Well, not
I'll tell
all
you
day.
what, man.
Well,
I've-
I'm writing a few comic books. Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
this weekend I've been trying to get
Yeah.
everything ready to launch and all. Man, it is a pain in the ass formatting everything, and just, man, what a pain. You gotta have, like, the cover's got to be a specific, width and height, and it's got to have
Always, yeah.
some
Oh.
overlap for the bleed when they print
the
it and all
bleed,
this.
yeah,
stuff.
all that-
Oh my
yeah,
god, man, it's
I
a
hate
pain in
desktop
the
publishing,
ass,
man.
dude.
It's-
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. I didn't realize it was so time consuming, man. That's all I did Sunday. I didn't even go to the Ravens game, even though they lost, but I ended up selling my tickets, and I didn't have a babysitter anyway, and she's 4, so I'm not quite ready to take her to a Ravens game yet. So
Gus,
the little one.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. You'll be at walking around the back.
Taking her to the bathroom 4
Yeah,
times,
4 times.
Yeah.
Well, we have to let Chris go 4 times a night anyway. So I know how it feels. The difference is
trucker. Jeez, I mean, Gus, just so that
Chris
you
is
know,
at that age where he just has a big golf cup sitting next to his chair. He doesn't even get up and go anymore.
what I've got to that age where what is that? I don't give a F about anything.
There you
know?
Yeah,
go. There you go.
I'm gonna
Just
tell
shut
you
it
this right
down,
now.
but
I'm gonna
then-
tell you this, Chris, right now. I would never talk to you like this in person. Okay, ever.
Well, especially after a few birds.
I'm officially
Yeah.
a keyboard
All right.
warrior right now.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Gus, the backers have their own channel in Discord. So there's a backers, validators, and holders, and then there's the council and all that kind of stuff. But they backers have their own thing. From what Eris is saying, Nick, they're still reviewing backer structure and still under negotiation.
Yeah, he said they're still under negotiation. Before you get into Fowler's NFT, just below that in the Discord, somebody did ask Baron as far as the 50-50 split for the profit split for DAO validator profit split. Somebody did ask if that was does that include registration fees as well as sale fees and basically all the fees that the creators and or artists will incur, because Nick talked about not just gas fees, it's basically other ways that validators are going to make money. Baron did answer that by saying that's a good question. 50-50 means an equal split of all income. However, I will clarify this with Nick, since we did not discuss every single stream source of money flow was his answer. So I would assume it's everything, all income as well. So I think Baron's right on point with that, but he is going to get some clarification there as well for all you node holders out there.
So I also saw
validators
this today too. The DEX token name is Vitro.
TRO or TRU?
TRU is the blockchain.
Gotcha.
So
I was hoping they were going to call it like V-True because it kind of brings some honesty to the DEX a little bit. Like, hey, we're an honest DEX,
drop an E on that one, right?
Yeah. I was hoping they were going to go somewhere with that, but I guess V-Tro is, that makes me think of, having a baby in a petri dish, but in vitro.
A couple other things they brought up.
Is it just me or?
No,
okay.
You're right.
Actually, I have a client that it's a fertility nationwide fertility client. Yeah, it's funny that you say that, man. And now
as soon as I heard the vitro, I'm like, in vitro, like that's where my mind went. So
what's up, Kelly Productions? So a couple of updates from the strategy council. I just ran across this. We've secured the approval by legal for the booster terms and finalizing an alliance with a major KYC provider. That's good. And then the DEX name.
And that's going to be for the creators, I'm assuming.
I would assume. And someone said something about that's not fair for the creators, but I was like, wouldn't the
But they don't have to. They don't have to.
But wouldn't you want? Look at. I'm gonna get this off the screen, but this is Fowler's, man. I mean, he just throws this stuff out there. I mean, it kind of makes you sick how he creates this stuff.
It is pretty badass. Yeah.
It's like Fowler, could you just please stop, man? Just whatever.
That's pretty bad, man.
He's great. He's awesome. Fowler's just incredible. It's a pleasure being associated with him. I love what he does.
And if he keeps that up,
man, I mean, you got a book coming out, dude.
I do.
No, man. What am I doing in my life?
A book. I'm over here complaining because I was writing an ebook. I'm like, what?
So I
Chris,
think I'm gonna stick with the Amazon
was an email.
stuff, man. It was an email. Yeah, but it was long.
No,
long.
No.
That was funny though. That was when you said that. I was going to be like, oh my god, that's funny. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, you can't. Well, at least you didn't kick me off the stage. I appreciate that one.
That was good though. That was a good one.
When you said a bunch of ebooks, I was like, maybe he means emails.
No,
I tell him.
Just long emails. Yeah.
Rowan Lobo has a question, and I think that this is totally separate.
They are totally separate, and those who invested in Uxie, I think Nick is still working out those details as far as how they're going to get money from the DEX, and that's why they're two separate things. So Uxie was basically just the DEX, so I'm assuming he's still going to work out how those that invested in Uxie
he
are
said
going to.
it during last week. He said,
that's right.
It's
in step one. It's actually in one of those. I believe it's in one of those boxes that need to be checked, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's a little bit more down the road.
Yeah.
And like Nick was saying, he's trying to do the things that are extremely pressing right now. He said a lot of things are, but
he's prioritizing. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are important, but he's trying to prioritize those to get the blockchain launched and get things rolling, get some money coming back to everyone, get the ecosystem up and running. But Rohan, if you want to stay up on everything that's going on, every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, Nick has committed to coming out, doing an hour or two live with, Chris kind of runs the whole thing. Usually Kryptonian, myself, and a bunch of other guys will join, Fowler, Greek. And, that's a good place to stay up on what's going on with Vitruvio and what was Uxie. So, if you want to stay up on your investment, that's the best time to find out what's going on. We've already had 2 of those episodes. So if you want to go back and watch those, that's exactly what Kryptonian was just talking about.
Yeah. The last AMA which was from last Friday, you're getting a lot more meat and potatoes. You're not going to get dates. You're not going to get, hey, this is going to happen. But you're actually getting, you're actually seeing the, I would say the
you're getting a roadmap without dates.
A roadmap.
Really.
You're actually looking at Nick's planner.
Like storyboard, basically.
This is what I got to get done. So you kind of see. So as he's checking those things off, we're checking them as well. So which I like that.
Be there on this Friday.
I'm traveling, so I may or may not. We'll see.
All right,
I'm out of town, so we'll see.
pull you off there for
I
now.
should be able. If it's at 1 o'clock on Friday, I should be able to jump in. But
You want me to put you on there for the live?
yeah, throw me down for now. If anything changes, I should know probably definitively Wednesday.
Okay.
So, but
So
yeah, as of
we're-
now, I should be good, even though I'm traveling.
We're
I might be
good
on
for
myself.
now, but I'll have to talk to Riva about. They want to do their YouTube too, but that has to be set up, and they want to do.
And if
Well,
somebody else wants to pop in because I'm traveling, if you don't have enough room, Chris, I can sit out. It's not a big deal. I can just watch, man. No biggie.
Well, I mean, if nobody else joins or anything like that, we'll keep you on there. But honestly, it's going to start being more and more of Vitruvio's
Right.
social medias, and we're just all going to start getting bumped off eventually. You know,
That
like
is
we can
what it
only
is.
send it to 8. So when
I'm okay with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm okay. The only thing that I say, and I sometimes people give some pushback about letting Vitruvio just do it, and Nick do it, and Nick and I agree on this. Is that I don't want it to be Nick and the team are having their AMAs. That's it.
With no community involvement.
Right,
Or
you got to
voice.
have the community involved, because
Agreed.
my thing is whether you get along with me or not, and you throw up a
A valid
question
point. Yeah.
somewhere or something like that, and
You're
not
going to
like,
make sure it gets addressed. Yeah.
Christian's in old bed and dummy head. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna read that.
I never say
You-
dummy head ever.
Well, you know what? Every once in a while, I'm like, look,
Dummy head.
but anyway, you know, I want to be able to make sure, not just me, but like with you guys there too, to be like, hey, someone asked me about this question.
Nah, it's
this
good to have a
week or whatever.
representative from the community.
And not to hold them accountable, but not to be like, because Nick gets some of his curated questions, and some of them, like the first week that he did them, he was even like, "No, I've answered all these, and they're really kind of." But then last week's questions seemed to be very valid. I was a couple of them
it was
already
good.
answered, but he got some questions that I was like, "That's cool," because someone asked me about 2 of those.
Mhm.
But and that's my thing is that I just don't want it to be like the way that the previous regime was, where
Yeah.
you had to pay a super chat to get like a
Right.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll do the super
And
chat thing.
At
but-
one point, wasn't he showing receipts where he donated that money? And didn't that stop at one point? Like I remember at first we were seeing receipts.
well,
I wouldn't doubt if he pocketed a lot of that money. Not
my great
Yeah, you know
grandfather
it,
told
man.
me when I was very, very young. He said 2 very important things. He said, "Don't ever spit directly into the wind, and don't bet on another man's tricks." So, if people are giving that money up and he's donating it, you know, that guy's not. He might have, who knows? But at the same time, it seems small. But at the same time, ripping people off for $20+ million is,
right. Right.
you know, I mean, I wouldn't put anything past him. To tell you the truth,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
bunch of criminals.
Oh, and we haven't forgot, man. We have not forgotten.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be something that's ever forgot, to tell you
Nope.
the truth, because I think it's one of those things that we are. All right, I got it. I got the right thumbnail for it. I'll have to verify that with Riva next week.
That is, you just brought it up, Chris, and I think it's very refreshing how Nick has even said, like, we're growing this thing, the
Mhm.
team along with the community, and it's refreshing as hell to see, you know, especially just in this space. Yeah, I think Nick's going about it the entire right way.
I think, and that's one of the other things that I like about Nick is that,
Mhm.
listen, don't get me wrong, we got to trust, and we trust
Trust
and
but
verify.
verify. Yep.
We have to make sure and everything like that. But every conversation that I have with Nick, whether it be live or behind the scenes,
Even via text.
yeah, even texting,
text.
and his underlining thing is that he wants to do what's right for the community and the artists.
Yep.
And the point that I get, I'm like, okay, at first I was like, oh, okay, I've been conned by so many people. You really want to do what's best. But then his responses to individual problems, his responses are that. And I'm like, oh, okay.
He's showing you in his responses that is his motivation, and he's not self-motivated.
Right. When you're suspicious, but they keep saying and doing things that are like, wait, okay, well, if
I agree.
he was really, if he's wanting, it's out for him. Why is he doing it this way? It'd be a lot easier if he just said, no, we'll do it my way, or whatever. Just the different things that I see and everything. And as it goes along, if it continues that way, I'll always be supporting. And I think we all will, because one of the things I love about the friendship that we have with, us up here and several other people, that will call us out on our BS, man. So, I mean, that's the great thing about that, because, someone comes in and says something or whatever, and it's like, what? That's batshit crazy. We're not going. You're crazy.
Yeah. No, you're right, Chris. You're right. Yeah, man. That's funny.
Yeah. All right. So Vitrovio, they're the Friday. Let me double check all this. Friday the 29th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is scheduled.
Sweet. Who came up with the Dow load?
That's all Nick.
That was Nick. Okay.
Weren't you there?
I don't remember, man.
I thought you
maybe not.
a memo
probably. I don't know. Sure. Probably. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure where we were on that, but he did.
I think I do remember seeing that now that you mention it.
Yeah, it was. All right, so that is there. Okay, and so where did Kryptonian go to the bathroom?
It's possible, man.
No, I was
refill the bourbon. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. See, Chris, you can't drink these. It's against doctor's orders.
Yeah.
Remember, nothing dark. Nothing dark.
We don't do it. Like, what do they say that in Texas everything's bigger? I don't believe that.
Oh, you don't believe that?
You got the big Stanley mug.
Yeah, yeah, big Stanley. Yeah,
you got a little cup, little sippy
cup. But you don't even want to know the punch that's in this, or I would say the proof that's in this cup, right? This glass. So. Yeah, first of all, you're drinking out of you're drinking whiskey out of plastic. I don't even know what to say about that.
That's not what this water.
Oh, okay.
So, here we are.
I mean, I was embarrassed for you.
That's his inshore for the day.
Yeah. Hey, dude,
you're drinking his shake. I told
him last night. He's all complaining that I go to the bathroom. I drink 1.5 gallons of water a day, man.
It's good, man.
I mean, and he's like, you go to the bathroom all the time. I'm like, well,
I don't say all the time. I just say every time.
You were them last night. You said that. Oh, that's your third time going or something like that. I'm like, what?
Do I need to play back the video? Everybody. All right, everybody in the chats. Every time Chris goes to the bathroom, I want you to put a number 1 in the chats, okay? And if it's 5 times, I'll give out no, I'm not going to say that because Chris will go on purpose.
I actually saying I got to go to the bathroom and I'm giving him shit about it. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good, man. It's all good. Just all fun and games. That's where you got to go. All right, let's see. Yeah, all right.
Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on. You guys got a bunch of dead airs. Everybody.
Oh, sorry, guys. I was just checking.
Yeah, I was getting a text. Sorry.
Yeah.
Several, actually.
We thought you were on a break.
Yeah, there you go.
There it goes. Look, everybody. Look, they're already putting numbers in the comments there, Chris. This is number 2 for you.
How is this number 2? Viking Crypto Warrior. Listen, buddy. You know what? Actually, that's not right. This is number 1 because the first one I was sitting right here and I was typing to them, and you were like, "Oh, we were late because Chris is in the bed." I'm like, "I'm sitting right here." No.
They're saying you went number 2. See, you don't even know what's going on. Oh, Rich.
Yeah, but anyway, Yeah, I didn't go number 2. No, he's not talking about that. He's saying number 2 like the second time.
Second time. It's all right. I'm gonna start keeping count.
So somebody just asked a question in the validator channel. Can you find out if we can run the IPFS on a separate server instead of the node server?
Ban him.
Run a what? IPFS on the what?
IPFS on a separate server instead of the node server.
Yeah, an IPFS would be it should traditionally be its own
That's kinda what I was thinking. Yeah.
server. You know, I think
Yeah, I don't know why you would want to run it on the node server.
yeah.
I would
Well, yeah,
think
they're probably thinking, can I, they're probably, if they're running a node, can they run both? And what you're going to get with the IPFS is there's going to be some storage costs. I mean, you're literally creating buckets for people to dump whatever. Let's say it's just NFTs, or documents or whatever images. You're actually just, you're basically selling real estate in that regard, so to speak. Not only real estate, but you're giving them quick access to it. It has to be fast. So all cylinders have to be running on those types of services. You can't go cheap with it, because when there's latency, people,
people are going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, Fowler was actually showing a very good example of that the other day when he's like, "Let me pull up my marketplace," and it took a moment for all the thumbnails to load. And he's like, "That's not me, guys. That's the hosting services for the IPFS." Which he's right. So whatever service he's using, he has no control of where they're actually regionally where those things are at. So the goal is to, if we're going to offer that, which I know that Nick talked about those things, that could be a form of revenue, when you start offering those services. In fact, with Prism, we talked about doing that as well, because that's revenue generating, right? For the storage, to process those, those transactions, and then of course store the data. So, but yeah, I think it's a good revenue model, because storage is absolutely needed. At the end of the day, it's going to have to be stored somewhere. So why not on our chain?
Sure.
Gus, you talk about Fowler and I doing an XSpace. Sure.
I do like the XSpace.
Yeah, let's do one.
like that.
Let's do it. I got no problem doing those any time of the week, because I can smoke my cigars and hang out. And also, guess, if you're out Friday in Mountain Time, that'll be 2 hours behind us, so it'll start at 11 local time there. And crypto, Viking Crypto Warrior, you went ahead and you done did it, and I did not ban you. I made you a mod, so. So I noticed you were there, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna ban you. But then I was like, nah, let's just make him a mod. And yeah, Gus is obviously in the wrong time zone, and he's heading the wrong way. Evan, wait, what is this? Gus, are you heading out west to pick up your new vet?
Whoa, really?
Congrats if you
Custom
are,
made?
man.
Yeah. Oh man, that's nice. Are you going to go watch it be made? Because you have the ability to do that.
Hold on
right?
a second. Why would you go out west to get a vet? Don't they make those in like Kentucky or somewhere?
Yeah,
No,
you're right.
That's the Kentucky. Well, wait a minute. There is a plant down there.
Yeah, Corvette. I think you do that. They think they do.
And
Make
the
them.
museum is down there too.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be going out there to get, unless he's getting like a used vet. And
my
then
lawyer,
why didn't you just pay
my
the
lawyer
$100?
/ mentor, the one that's managing all my trusts. He just bought it. He's a big vet guy. He was just showing off that he got the latest vet, had it custom made, showed me pictures and videos of it going through the assembly line. He got to watch it be built. That's so cool.
They are good looking cars too, man. I've never been a super huge Corvette fan, but
I like the new. I like the new ones.
Yeah,
the new ones are pretty
they're
cool.
good looking car, man.
Yeah,
Definitely a good looking car.
You want to hear my one up story?
Sure.
When I was
have
a
a choice.
No.
I could go to the bathroom actually.
Because you have no choice. Because you have no choice.
Right. What you got, brother?
Yeah. But anyway, so when I was a teenager, I had a girlfriend, stuff. Her dad was a GM executive, and there's a plant that they were closing down near where we lived. They were closing plants and moving around, but they made the IROC Z there.
Ooh.
and that's when the IROC was like
They were so easy to steal.
yeah, it was back then. It was like those were like it. I got to go down there and
Those like
walk,
great cars.
walk
Yeah.
the line.
That's
with-
actually how I got into cars. Sorry, Chris.
walk the line with the last IROC that came off the assembly. It was pretty cool. All the whole
really?
way, cool. All the way
IROC,
out, and
man.
some dude wanted it at a radio station or something. Like actually, it was a girl wanted.
That's
Well, I
cool.
think the girl wanted it, but the dude was like, "Give me the keys." So her boyfriend or husband or whatever.
Yeah, the IROC was that was a classic, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, it was for
Pretty
sure.
cool.
Yo, IROC. Mhm.
Yeah, so that's my one-up story on that. But Gus,
That's a
are
good
you
one.
really heading out there to get your vet?
That thing, man, that's actually pretty
That's
cool.
cool. Yeah.
But why
And-
West? You couldn't
Yeah.
get it shipped to you?
He might be picking it up from a dealer. He might have found a hell of a
vet.
deal or
He's
something.
RVing west all the way to
Ah.
California. That's even
That's
funner,
cool.
man.
Yeah.
That I would definitely.
If
that
I
would
had
be
that,
good.
man, that's one of my bucket lists. I want to.
Yeah, me too.
I got the time where I can just jump on the road.
I'm telling you, next year, I think I don't think I'm going to do it this time of the year, and I think I'll be too busy between Destin and here. But spring, a year from this spring, I think I'm going to make the trip from here, around here, to see all kinds of stuff, but go all the way up to Alaska.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
And my,
It's a lot of bathroom
Nice,
breaks.
man.
and
Yeah.
my you know what? Not sure. Well, I don't know what happened to him.
I
I
don't
knew
know
it
what's wrong
was
with that
coming.
guy.
I
I
knew
don't
it
know
was
what's wrong with that guy.
Yeah.
But,
I know it's coming.
you know, because my daughter, she's, I think they're going to be moving. I don't know where they're going to be moving to, probably Florida or whatever, but they'll be done up there close to that time. And on my, like, I'll be driving up, stay up there for a while, and then I'll take a bunch of stuff back with me and drive all the way back to Destin. So,
That's gonna be nice.
but I'm pretty sure that I'll be doing that. And I think it's going to be
Very
one
cool.
of those a month and a half trip to get up there, stopping off all over the place, Cherokee
I didn't-
Nation and all that, and
You know, I think we should have had at least conversation about that before you just head off on a vacation without talking to me about that first. I mean, first Nolan, now you. What the hell's going on here, man? You guys don't care, man. I was joking.
Holy smokes! What's going on here, buddy? My ex-wife said I need to needed to get more in touch with my feminine side. I thought about it, so I crashed the car, then didn't talk to her for a day for no reason at all. We're now divorced.
Sounds about right. Sounds about
It's
right.
not funny, man,
Yeah.
but that's a true story.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
That's right, Teddy. That's right. They're gonna learn. What's that thing in the Guardians? They got Captain's got to teach stuff or something. What's the guy say? I forget
In
the
what?
line.
In which one? What show?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Captain's got to teach stuff.
Something like that. I gotta get that, whatever that was. But yeah, you guys gotta learn. You guys will learn eventually. Leave me alone.
I do.
Nah.
I hold
It's
back.
funny.
bro.
It's funny
I
how we
way
rotate around. Because I was down at the bottom and you're at the top. It's like we just keep rotating around.
You're the one
Keeps
with your
it
finger on the
interesting.
button.
Whatever.
This is true. This is true.
Watching you guys here in Shiloh Vineyard in Kansas right now. That's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah. That's definitely cool. Yeah, Jaco hit us up earlier. Kryptonian NR, I wish Property Flex was ready. I found an assisted living facility house ready to go.
You know,
Yeah,
when,
man.
when I read that, I was thinking Alf from the Alien Life Form, that TV show. I was like,
Yeah, that's kind of
"You guys are
real
buying
estate talk.
Alf's house?
That's a real estate talk, assisted living facility. That's cool though, man. But yeah, unfortunately, we're not quite there yet. Believe me, you'll be one of the first that know when we are. So we're still
Yeah, man, we appreciate you, man.
still working on some back, some maybe a little bit of restructuring, and we're talking about doing maybe some bigger things, but we're not sure yet. So
Oh, hey, what's up, Sky?
we'll see.
I didn't
Yeah,
see
what's up,
this
Sky?
one. Richard Hudman's got a. Did you see this? Since he doesn't know why validator, he doesn't get on the.
So
validator.
I had a little bit of problems with mine, Rich. You just got to keep trying. Depends on what wallet you're using.
He said he
Yeah.
created a ticket. So, I mean,
That doesn't DM me, man, and I can walk you through it. Like I said, man, I had some issues. I was trying to use, I think maybe SafePal, and I ended up just using MetaMask or something. And if you already have the wallet in there, you don't have to re-verify. You can just kind of click on that one when you do the verification.
here we got that's my kind of guy right here, Crunch Bear,
Man,
watching from my kitchen in Seattle with a bourbon. Heck yeah,
I like it. I like it. So you're over there with Odonato.
Jocko. Seriously, dude, always over there stirring the pot. He's got a he sent Fowler a picture. It's a funny picture, man. You know what? I'll send it to you guys in Discord. But he's like, Fowler, you got to make an NFT about this picture.
Oh, I
Did you send it?
Yeah. I like that one. Yeah. I hope he does. I hope he does.
We got to be respectful, but man, oh man, when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, Odonato, he's in Seattle, right?
He's in Seattle, I believe. Yeah.
Right outside of it. Oh, wait, what happened? That ticket was a scam. What ticket, Rich? Are you having trouble with getting your validator thing, or am I confused by what we're talking about?
Maybe maybe he was having an issue and somebody tried to scam him and say, "Hey, we opened a ticket for you."
Only do that. Only do that stuff in the Discord and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, tried to get you to click on a link. Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, I would never do that, man. Definitely, if you want to go in and open up your own support ticket, yeah, that you should be able to do.
Yeah, and you can even actually, well, I don't know how they do it now, but when I had an issue early on, I just messaged them and one of the ambassadors and hit the @ thing, and they replied to me, and we went to the DMs.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had to submit a ticket.
Yeah, I had a little bit of
haven't.
an issue getting in on the validator channel, but I had to do it like 3 or 4 times before it actually would see it or something.
The funny part about it is I went to go do it.
Yeah.
And it took me longer to say, I don't know what I was doing, but I was looking down or typing or something. And I went to do it. I went to type and I looked up. I'm already validated. I'm like, oh, okay. It was super easy for me.
Well, now the Collabland bot actually keeps multiple wallets, whereas before, I think you could only have one wallet in there at a time.
Yeah, you're right.
Now you can have multiple wallets. So if you already had it in there, that's why.
Check this out, guys. This is not. I don't think that. This is. If this is true, they need to be. No.
First of all, nobody on the team's going to reach out to you.
Yeah.
And they're not going to ask you to click a link.
Before I go anywhere else, but Crunchbear says, good question. How many validations, validators have verified on the Vitrovio Discord? Do we know?
It's a good question. Is how many people are in that channel? I don't know. That's a good question. I would assume there might be at least a handful of people that kind of threw their hands up after everything and maybe haven't moved or have been out of the loop. So yeah,
I've seen a couple not in that Discord, but I've seen a couple in our chats.
Yeah.
Or come back and they'll do a comment like on our
where's my Seifu?
Yeah. I sacrificed. What do I do next?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where you been at, man?
Yeah. Are you trolling me, man? You trolling me.
Yep.
Yeah, those are funny.
Yeah, that's definitely not
this whole thing looks pretty.
Yeah, that dude is you should definitely report whoever that admin or whoever is. That's not legit. Yeah, because that's like a private message. It's
Yeah.
not actually, because if you were actually doing a support ticket, you actually do it. Go into Vitruvio Discord all the way at the bottom. You can create a ticket, and it's going to be inside the Vitruvio Discord,
Yeah.
not a private message like that.
Look at him at the bottom. He's like, no thanks. He's like, I'm not falling for that. Like,
Smart.
person, whatever you are.
Yeah, but if
So-
you're new to crypto, or if you're not even paying attention, or if your attention's somewhere else and you're not thinking, I mean, it's very easy to just second nature to just click on the OK button. I mean,
Yep.
It's crazy, dude.
Well, I think we get complacent. We're like, we're just
Exactly.
thinking,
Exactly.
click, click,
Yep.
yeah. They know
Mhm.
that, especially in the middle of like at the
Guy high, man.
the
He's
front of
high.
something being like an announcement. Hey guys, get ready for,
Yep.
we're about to go to another version or something like that. So that's when these hackers come out, man, and they catch the.
Sky High's got the answer to it all, man. Scam the scammers. Mookie's like, he clicked on a link like that and lost all his Seifu.
Wow.
Well, I
You know,
mean,
I-
if it happened right now, I mean, isn't it worthless? But I mean, that he's talking about that happened back in the day.
I've always wondered. Remember, we had those guys that came in and stole the nodes, and in our came in like a, like a knight in shining armor and got them back. I wonder if
I negotiated two stolen nodes, man. It's
I
crazy.
wonder if those were ever Brian and his team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him.
I would not put
If
it past
you-
him, man.
If you think about it, it probably was, man.
Probably was, man.
I think they're still out there too.
Well, somebody didn't we get a message that said Brian tweeted about a contract for not Revive, what's the new one? I forgot what the hell it was. He tweeted about a contract for the new ticket,
No.
new token that came out.
Oh.
Forgot what the hell it was, but it was the wrong contract and he ended up rugging it.
So listen to this.
And then he deleted the tweet. Brian did that. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that. But
Yes.
listen
oh
to
my
this.
God, man.
I remember going through in Brewfied, going through the Seifu, that archive that they have, right? The file has everything, and it was a long time ago, and I couldn't find it or anything like that.
A
But
fake justice token. That's what it was.
oh yeah,
Yeah, fake justice token contract.
Okay.
And Brian tweeted out the contract. People put money into it, and then he took their money, and then deleted the tweet on his actual Twitter.
I saw
What
I
piece
saw a
of shit.
picture
Piece
of
of
somebody.
shit, dude. God dang, man.
All right, Chris.
Somebody's account
Sorry, Chris.
was somebody's account. They had a screenshot of it, right? And it's the same picture and the same name. And it's just off memory because I haven't gone back and found it or anything like that. But it said, "This is Snowy's alt account." And I swear to you, that person is in the holder's channel.
I don't
The
doubt it.
same picture and the same name. But in Brewfied, like 6 months ago, they took a screenshot of it and said, and they had like the name underneath, like.
Oh, you
the
can't
real
tell me
Discord.
Brian's not in the holders chat. Of course he is.
And they were, and I saw them, and at first I saw it, and I was like, I know where that came from. And they're like, oh, let's give Nick a chance, and Nick's doing great work, and I'm like, what? Is that who I think it is? And I mean, I haven't been able to verify it. I guess I'd have to go back and look at it, but
Yeah,
they
but
had
you're
a
pretty
picture of
sharp,
it.
man. I'm
The
sure.
guy has, it's a guy, and he's got his face down like this, and he's got a hat on, so you
And
can't.
there's a lady boy sitting on it.
Well, it doesn't. You can't really see their face, and I don't even know if it's that. It could be a fake picture, but that's
Right.
the way. And when I see it, every time I see it, I'm like, I swear that's the picture that and the username and everything. that
Exactly
they
the
brought
same.
up the Brewfied and said it was Snowy's alt.
I'm sure
Damn,
it is. because they those guys go ahead and do their research, man. Like they backtrack that stuff because you know there's a history there. So yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, they don't miss. They don't.
And you
skip a
can't
beat,
tell me
bro.
that he's not trying to keep tabs on what's
Oh,
going
hell
on
yeah,
because
he
he's
is.
got money locked up.
Oh my god!
If he's doing
Listen,
shit like posting fake contract addresses and stealing people's money
he's
that
trying
way,
to figure out how to scam people
Yep.
still and what he can do and all that.
He-
kind
He's
of
like,
he
stuff.
I'm
probably
gonna get
sent
my allocations.
he probably sent the support ticket. That's probably who sent the support ticket.
He's that guy. He's got like a whole office.
Guy. Right,
Look.
right.
Jocko, stop
Piece
sending
of
me that
crap.
picture, man. Hey, you're gonna break my monitor.
What's that? Check your DM. What? Okay.
Don't be careful. You might have a problem.
Yeah, I saw what happened. It's like he sent you that picture,
Oh,
and then
yeah, I'm not posting that.
Oh,
and then all of a sudden Chris was like,
you're
"Jocko,
not-
stop sending me that picture, bro."
oh, look at you with the Richard. You're not validated at all.
Not even as a holder.
Yeah. Wonder if something's wrong with that NFT. Bowling for Vitru is a backer.
Well, even as a holder, he should be able to put up his wallet, whichever one he used for sacrifice and all that stuff, and at least be a holder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I always say, man, time for honoring himself will soon come to an end with that character.
Right on.
That's to you, Teddy.
Yeah, man.
Oh, there are people in the holder chat trying to throw dirt on y'all and Nick. Oh, okay.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God. hold on.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm in.
Thanks for the heads up, Sky, but oh well.
Yeah. Here, let
Like,
me go ahead and just.
I'm curious as to what kind of dirt, you know.
Let me just wash it off real quick.
Yeah.
All that dirt
Hold
off.
on, wait a minute.
No, I'm just gonna go through the car wash, bro. Just you don't even see it.
I see it. It's like a storm or something.
So, what do you guys think with the boosters, man? How do you think the booster sales are going to go? Do you think we're actually going to raise some decent capital with the booster sales, or do you think it's gonna just be mediocre? Do you think we're going to blow it out of the water? What are your thoughts on the boosters that are coming up for sale now that we got it through legal and all that stuff?
I don't think I've ever read something so silly.
Oh, you're reading the dirt there?
Somebody's dirt. I don't think it's directed at me.
It must be me then. Sorry.
Where you at?
No. I think it is about all of us, but
Wow.
yeah. Until you start paying my bills, I really don't care. But boosters, I'm very leery about it
Yeah.
because, I want the blockchain to do well. I want everybody, but I would like nobody to spend any more money.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to have anything out of pocket, but I understand if they would want to. I would understand if they don't want to. You know what I mean? It's a tough call, but everybody needs to be well informed. That's why these AMAs, questions, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody needs to be pressured. Nobody needs to be like, "Come on, man, do it for the blockchain." All that stuff.
Yeah, none of that, man.
Paper hands, all
Yeah,
that.
but I've
all that
I've
bullshit,
actually
yeah.
heard from some people and talked to some people that really do want to help the blockchain, but not only that, they want to get a little bit more access to what they have locked up. So, I guess that's exactly what Nick's hoping for with the booster sales. So,
They want to do it because
Yeah.
that they're in a position where they can, and they see the vision, and
mhm.
and it's an incentive to escalate or accelerate actually their vesting, right? Yeah, do it. But I don't think. I mean, for me, I'm okay. I don't need acceleration.
I was gonna ask. So, are
Yeah.
either of you gentlemen buying any boosters?
I'm okay where I'm at. I don't need to get access to my my vesting. So me personally, no, unless something changes drastically. When I say drastically, in a positive way, not that there's negative now, but but something that just really excites me. Where like, man, I've got to get into this thing, man. Not for accelerating my vesting, getting closer to my vesting or to my investment, whatever, but more of just me wanting to really support this thing. I'm already supporting it. I'm already behind it. I'm already on the Truvio train, so to speak. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to say a no. Absolutely not. I'm not going to say count me in. I'm taking it one day at a time. I think I've learned that. I think I've learned to do that right in the last year and a half. It's because I could say yes, I'm all in, and then something happens tomorrow. I'm like, damn it. And then now I've got a meme of me saying he's buying boosters. Just the last guy. That's all I need, right? So, but I don't know. I'm not going to say no, and I'm not going to say yes. I'm just going to I'm going to play it safe, and see what happens. And if I do buy them, I don't have to tell you if I buy them or not, right? So there it is.
True. Very true. I think I might throw a little bit at it. I'm not going to go crazy or anything, just to, not promising that I am, but I think I probably will. Plus, Nick said it should be some pretty cool art. So,
yeah, again, and there's a point I was going to
make.
Yeah.
So if it's something that strikes me as, hey, that's pretty cool, I might,
What am I getting for it, right? So I would contend that maybe some of his best artists are going to come and they're just going to freaking killer stuff, man. I'm like, I want that on my wall. I'm actually hoping to close on my house here in a couple of weeks. And we need some art for it. My wife wants some art on the walls, so I'm already thinking, well, I know a perfect place we can go, so there's a lot of artists that we've been able to keen in on, and that she likes, that I like, that I was introduced because of Nick, so I can't wait to get some of that stuff printed out, man, and put on a wall, and especially in my office, right? So yeah, so if something pops at me, man, I have no problem supporting that, man, 100%.
And I think you're best equipped. First off, Marshall and Rich, are you guys getting help? Let us know, because it seems like that's getting kind of screwy. But NR, looks like
and if not, either of you guys reach out, DM. I can see if I can help you if you don't have a if you don't get that remedied. If you guys don't open a support ticket, an actual support ticket, and get some help. DM me and I'll see if I can't walk you guys through, because like I said, I had some trouble and ended up making it work, so I can walk you through what I did. What was Chris talking about? I guess maybe what Sonny T was asking about the GWI, the gas fees, all that good stuff. Billionth of an ETH when calculating. Do you multiply by the ETH price, or since it's our own blockchain, you definitely wouldn't be multiplying it by the ETH price. It would be by the VTrue price. Yes, you are correct, Sonny T. Because we're not going to be on the Ethereum blockchain. So 1 GWI of ETH, you would multiply that by ETH price. So yeah, you figured that one out on your own. Yep. Hope that answers your question. If not, come back at me. You are welcome. Yeah, man. So who was throwing dirt in Holder's chat? Now I'm curious.
I can't find it.
Yeah, I don't know. Chris said he found it. I always love seeing when people talk smack.
Yeah. It's usually...
It's funny, usually.
Yeah, it is.
Because usually it's somebody that don't know what they're talking about. Or they're just talking out of their $80 double signs.
Yep.
Chris went to the bathroom again.
Yeah. He didn't say nothing this time. He's like,
right,
I don't say nothing.
Yeah, let me just sneak out real quick.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up my soundboard. So as soon as his camera turns on, you're gonna hear a toilet flush.
Start doing a little whiteboard behind you and start marking them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, line through it. Oh,
that's funny. You're doing great, man.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Oh man. So that's cool, man. Congratulations on hopefully closing on your house in a few weeks.
Yeah,
That's good
man.
stuff.
Hoping. Things seem to be going in order, or on track. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to just solidify the best possible interest rate because they keep going. They keep fluctuating.
Yeah.
You know, day to day. They went up. They went down. So I've got about 2 or 3 weeks to kind of hone in and pick one. So we'll
Now,
see
are
what
you
happens.
buying that rate down at all, or are you just going to take what they give you and refinance later on?
Well, I did do some upgrades to the house that for the appraisal that we kind of went a little overboard. I think.
I think that always happens when you build your own house. So
Yeah, and so the appraiser, I just actually just paid for the appraiser today. They're gonna come. I think they're going out next week or something. So it depends on what the appraisal comes back at. I do know this though. When I originally bought the lot, the dirt, and we started to build, I am now about 30 to 40K. I would say in equity already, and the house haven't even signed on it yet, just because of the price that the area. So
things have
I'm
gone
excited.
up that much just
Yeah.
for the. That's cool.
Yeah. So since we picked that lot and then we built it, now it's that the house is already up like 30K. Might be 40K, we'll see, but and that's what I like to see. You know what I mean? I haven't even got walked in yet, and I'm already walking into money, right? So so that's also going to determine if I'm buying it down or if I'm just going to take what they get me and refi. So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I have a house listed on the market now. It's been there for maybe 30, 40 days. It hasn't sold yet. And I had some guy approach me today with a little bit of creative finance. So there's no mortgage on the property. I bought it cash, and then we rehabbed it and basically went through, gutted it. Everything's new in it. So he wants to put like 200K down, and then he wants me to hold the rest on paper. And I'm like, maybe we'll see. I don't know. So I'm debating whether I want to go that route. He's talking like 5 to 7 years of payments at like 6%, which it's not bad. And then a balloon payment after 5 or 7 years. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm debating.
Yeah.
Or do I just let it sit on the market and sell in a month or 3, which
How long has it been on the market?
Will. It's been on the market like 40 days, I think. So
what's the well, I guess it depends on the area, right? Like
it's Baltimore City, so it's not the greatest area, but it's around kind of like Johns Hopkins and stuff. So it's somewhat desirable, but still not the greatest area. I mean, I wouldn't want to live there, but that's me. So
well, if you wouldn't want to live
house. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to live in Baltimore City. That's where I grew up.
Yeah,
man. I got the
yeah,
hell
yeah, I
out
wouldn't
of
want to
there.
I wouldn't want to either.
It's like the murder capital of the world. Like,
I've heard
I'm
stories.
good.
I've heard stories.
It's I always pack every time I go through there. So yeah,
It's unfortunate,
crazy.
man. My daughter's is my youngest daughter is my youngest adult daughter, I would say. She's now going into her own apartment and everything. And she sent me some videos this weekend, and she's at the gun range, right? And she's moving in with her fiance or whatever, and they're like, they went to the gun range, and he's never been a big gun guy, and I'm thinking. So I remember she sent me the videos, and I was like, "That's right, baby. You teach him how to be a man,
Right.
Shut up, man. That's not funny. No, but she's been shooting since she was probably 8 years old,
Sure.
And
Sure.
but it was cool to see her because to see what he was recording her, and she's just going through the motions, presenting and firing on stuff, and the way she puts her finger on the trigger and all these things, and then when she takes it off, she's just going through all these safety steps that we've gone over and over and over again. It was really cool to see that she's showing him these things, and I'm just happy,
she's paying forward the knowledge that you instilled in her.
Yeah,
man. It's very cool.
It's cool to watch that. And he's always wanted to get a firearm. He bought it, and she's kind of showing him,
showing him the ropes.
Yeah, it's cool, right? It's pretty cool.
That is cool. That's really cool, man. That's super cool. No doubt. I don't know if I ever told you this story. We were at I was working for Honda at the time, and me and a few guys went to the gun range because it was maybe about 10 or 15 minutes up the road. So we'd take an hour lunch and go to the gun range. And we took a guy that never really shot before. So we're shooting. Finally, he gets up there. We're all standing behind him. So he starts shooting, and a shell bounces off like the wall next to him and hits him in the neck. And the shells come out, they're hot as hell, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
So he like turns around with the gun in his hand and like points it and kind
He's
of
like,
he
dude,
grabs his
yeah,
and turns around, and we're like, whoa, like he's pointing it at us. We're like, dude, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, man. That's like, bro, that's just
That's
rule
like
one, man.
rule number one. You drop it, man. Like, stop. You never turn around with the gun in your hand. Like, stop. Always point it down range.
Oh man. Yeah. That's scary. That's scary as hell, man.
Especially when you get somebody, like you said, that's not educated, that hasn't been taught those things that your daughter knows that she was passing along. It's like, that could have went really bad. So oh man, I'll never forget. I was a buddy of mine. He reloads his own ammo, and he was showing me a gun. I don't know, a couple weeks ago. I was like, "Come into my office, man. Check it out." It was a client. I was on site. Check it out, and he pulls out this Glock that he had manufactured, whatever, custom Glock, and he carries hot and everything, meaning one in the chamber. Pulls out of his bag, drops the mag, clears. He's going to clear it, right? And he aims it up, and he's clearing it like that. And I'm like, hey, man, And this guy's like in his 60s, been shooting 40 years of his life. Right. Complacency. It's that complacency, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, hey, man,
just like you said earlier.
My bad. Yep. And he had one stuck in the chamber, but long with the short, obviously nothing happened. But it's just those things like that,
That's how those accidents happen, is the complacency and people being comfortable and not remembering those safety procedures. And man. Plus, people think shit's never going to happen to me, right?
Oh yeah, I have had my accidents, where it's gone off when it shouldn't have, but because I follow the principles of, never point it unless you point it, never point your gun at something you don't intend to destroy, always away. Things like that, they make a big difference. Chris, where you at?
I'm right here. What? I'm listening to what you're saying. Oh, okay. So Rich got his taken care of. What about Marshall?
I think Marshall said he's going to give whatever Rich did, logging out, logging back into Discord. He's going to give that a try and see what happens.
Ashley, what are you coming after me now? What the heck is? I'm losing like everybody. Now Ashley's on.
What's funny is that's been up there for like 35 minutes. You've gone twice.
Yeah,
I didn't go anywhere twice. I did go to the bathroom, but I did that a while ago. I've been back here. You know what? Funny. You'll see this later. Don't worry about it.
That's funny.
I got another thing to tell you too. I'm watching a little thing going on, and I just remind me to bring that up to you because it's so classic. It's ridiculous.
Uh-oh.
Fair enough. Well, guys, we have been going for an hour and a half, and I know we just kind of wanted to jump on and shoot the shit a little bit, and say what's up to the good people out there, and wanted to kind of go over all that stuff from Baron Master about the nodes, and
I think that was a good one to bring up for sure.
And that was definitely a good one. It's a good announcement. It's that's just another example of Nick being proactive in the community. Jumping on a Zoom call with these guys, and it's not being a Nick fanboy. Like when we're up here and we're praising Nick, it's not being a Nick fanboy. It's giving respect where respect has been earned. And Nick has been nothing but a class act. Again, he didn't have to jump on this sinking ship and try to plug all the holes, but he's sure doing a darn good job. So I give the man his props. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I wholeheartedly share that sentiment with you. Giving respect where respect is due.
Yeah, man.
Could have walked away. Well,
I mean,
can still walk away.
I go back to if he's making decisions and involving all kinds of members of the community, even the people that don't like him and stuff like that, or all that, and he's he's taken their issues,
Mhm.
you know, respectfully. They're taking their issues. Heck yeah, dude. I'm going to support that. I'm going to support that all day long.
Yep.
I mean, when I see that he's like, I'm not listening to anybody. I'm not, doing like the old regime.
Yeah, he's open. He's taking notes. I mean, no doubt. And that's where the respect is earned.
And his actions are, dude. Because like with
Yep.
the validator, the whole conversation that you brought up and everything like that, obviously, it's trying to work out that what would be best for the validators and the blockchain. And he was like, and see, I like that because it seemed like the other guy, he'd promise everything.
Mm-hmm.
He
promised the world, and deliver
like,
nothing.
Oh yeah, we can do that. Yeah. Just buy these.
Yep.
Just
give me some more money.
Nodes, and
just give me some more money, and we'll make that happen.
Yeah, all that, and it just seemed like it was like, wow, that was easy. They went, people were concerned about something, and he fixed it and made it 1,000 times better. Oh, that's awesome. Well, there's no intention of it ever working, but
right.
So that to me, you can take the good and the bad from all of it and everything like that. But the situation that we're in right now is not ideal. We wouldn't want. I would never wish this on anybody to be in this type of situation. But this situation that it is right now, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can critique it, but at the same time, like I said, if Nick is creating a DAO, he's creating accounts where they actually have say in it, that they can actually, Baron Master can actually speak for the validators, and all that, and all the different people that are on this council and everything. And if it is something that has term limits, and it is something that they've engaged the community and all that kind of stuff, I will support that all the way through.
Sure.
But as soon as it turns into one of these things where it's like, this is a, Gestapo type,
dude, that's the word that popped in my head.
Yeah.
Gestapo, dictatorship,
I'm not going to be a part of any of that crap. And I think I'm glad that Nick would. I think that Nick feels the same way, and as long as he continues that, then I will be. But to me, that we don't have much of a choice. Okay, yeah, it's out there. We're it's basically Nick or nobody.
The other choice is this thing folds.
Somebody
right?
could have stepped up or whatever.
Sure.
Okay, but they didn't. All right, but right now we're moving in a direction. Okay, so as it is right now, if he continues to engage the community and they still have a voice and everything like that, I will support it all the way through and continue. And even somebody brought it up in one of the Discords. Someone was saying something. Somebody got they got upset about something. And
in a Discord? No way.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Did they get banned?
Right.
Well, they had a legitimate concern, but they said something, and a couple people were like, "Oh, you're always negative and everything." And I'm like, "Okay, but what's the issue?" Because I think I was tagged or something like that.
You still need those people, though. You still need them to bring up those issues, even if that person is always negative. You do need that side of the community, right?
Right. And so what he said was that he had to. He was saying something about the previous AMA or whatever, and then I went back and I was watching it, and we had a conversation back and forth and everything like that. And then I sent him some links, and he was going to check it out. And I think he understood, and I think because I was like, show that to me because I want to know, And
so he brought up some valid concerns.
Yeah, and I was like, and he was like, I'm sorry, he kind of apologized, say I don't want to be rude to you or whatever. And I said something like, I want it to be more professional to download, but me and my goofball behavior probably. And he said, no, you make it engaging and all that kind of stuff. No, I'm not upset with you or anything. And I was like, cool. I was like, so what's your concern? Let me check it out. I want to see what it is. And we went back and forth in DMs and everything like that. So I think it all got worked out and everything is fine. But he is critical. I've seen him before, very critical. But the thing is that if you got to be respectful, and I think he is. But there are some of them that are like, you know what, just burn it to the ground. It's like, well, I'm not going to listen to you anyway. So
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, but when people approach the, even if they come with the negativity, if they do it in a manner like you're describing, I'm open to having that discussion. That
if they come from a point of view that they're listen, this is vital because I want to make this better for everyone. I'm all for it. But
or if they just didn't understand or something.
Oh yeah. Or maybe I don't understand.
Right. I was bringing up a valid point that we missed. Right.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that. Yeah. But I think that's important, and I think that we're getting more and more of that. But at the same time, there are people out there that didn't get their way.
Yeah,
it's obvious they didn't get their way, and they're mad about that. And that's the point that I'm like, look, I didn't get my way. I don't think a lot of us.
I think a lot of us didn't get our way. Yeah.
At least we have. I think the wheels are starting to turn in the right direction. We're starting to get this thing rolling and everything.
Good way to put it. Yeah.
And at the same time, if it turns out that I find out or anything comes to me that I think is detrimental to the community and can't be fixed, we need to bring it to a screeching halt. But if it's something major, it's a problem, and we can fix it and we can all work together to do it, I'm going to support that 100%. And if Nick is open to that, heck yeah. So if that's being a fanboy or whatever, then I'm sorry.
Yeah, and again, man, I don't see it as being a fanboy or being on his tip or however you want to say it. I just, again, the man, as Gus said it right here, Nick took the whole crap show upon himself to fix this whole thing. We really are getting a big break after getting completely scammed. I mean, there's other communities where this kind of thing has happened, where there's been a rug pull or a scam and it's folded. People lost all their money. There was no hope.
Sky High's comment too.
Yeah.
Well, let me look for that link. I thought I had. Do you guys have that link available?
Yeah.
The Genesis link that Paul Wakeham is asking about, the Genesis link. I don't have it readily available.
I don't think I have it readily available either.
But I just saw it earlier today, and I did not even think twice about it.
Yeah, and Sky High is right on point, man. It's because Nick listened to the community, made changes, and he's continuously doing that, which is refreshing as hell. And man, again, not only Nick stepping up and doing what he's been doing, how he's been doing it, it's the way that he does it, the professionalism, the way that he approaches it, the organization. It's the whole package, the vision. It's all of it. I really like the way that Nick puts, like the AMA together. I like the way he put the deck together. I like the way he puts his presentations together. It's very professional. It's very business-like, and that's more of what I'm used to.
Same here.
It feels very familiar. Let's put it that way. So, yeah.
I'm all for those things because I'm all for those. I can't find it, Paul. If you go into the Discord and ask one of the mods, I'm sure they'll give you the link.
Yeah,
I know Biz will, but I think Biz is like sleeping finally because
I think I saw him floating around somewhere earlier. But yeah, he might be. But no, I feel like when we're sitting on like Friday, when we're sitting there, I feel like we're sitting in a boardroom with him on a Zoom call or something. That's how professional it is, and I like the way that feels.
Oh, so. Here you go, Rich. I have not even undid it. The shirt. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah.
Is this the unveiling?
Yeah, I got this shirt from.
That's cool. I like that from his store.
Yeah.
Nice.
Rich
I like that. I got to get some gear, man.
And I got this hat from Sunny Tees. So
that's cool. You spreading the love around.
Yeah. I got them the other day, and I got them like last week, but they finally made it to now. There's a whole bunch of packages that came in, so I finally got to them. But
so you're like my wife with Amazon, huh?
Yeah.
Dude, the truck just stays parked out in front of my house. Like,
no, it's a lot of work stuff too. So it's like, But I'll check it out, Rich. I'll probably be wearing it Friday. Well, Fridays I wear red, so I can't wear it Friday. Maybe I'll wear it for just the live.
You wear red on Fridays?
Yeah. Why don't you?
I didn't know it was a.
You all this time you know me and you don't know you gotta wear red on Fridays.
I did not know that. I thought you were just colorblind.
Well, I mean, it's like a military.
You wear flannels,
thing.
bro. It's got red in it right now.
No, it's like a red shirt, a legitimate red shirt. I wear one that's maybe a little bit dark red, but I have a couple.
Okay.
But you wear it. It's remember everyone deployed.
Okay.
So it's like veterans. Sense. You know, it's people that didn't come home.
I hate when this guy embarrasses me in action. Don't you hate that?
Right. Isn't that something?
Well, can't make a joke about it. It's like,
don't we know? I mean, the guys know about it in the chat. They always like this. They'll say you got your red shirt on and everything, and
it's pretty cool. I did not know that. That's actually.
I didn't know that either. So I learned something here today as well. Yeah, I did not know that. I've never heard that before, and never really paid attention. So thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Yeah, wow. I'm with you, Sky High, all day, every day, man. Yep. Did you see Teddy One's comment there, Kryptonian?
Oh, he says I'm in reloading and I had a mishap. I've had a couple. I reload as well. I wasn't paying attention. My powder dispenser came loose and started. Okay, and if it rains, no, bro.
Can you imagine? So I guess too much gunpowder and round and just.
I've never had a barrel explode or have a stovepipe and do that. I've never overloaded powder. But what I have done is I didn't seat the projectile, the bullet. You know, I didn't. It wasn't crimped or the way I thought it was, and I was shooting. I loaded for suppressors for one of my suppressors,
right?
And I put on my can, right? Boom, boom. So it's on an MP5 that I have. 9mm.
Nice piece, by the way.
Oh, I love it. That's my baby, man. And I go to shoot, and that projectile didn't. It kind of just, I don't know. Maybe I didn't put enough powder. I don't know what it was, but it didn't go straight as it was supposed to, and it went right off the top of the can. It's bam, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Did you hear it like tink or like?
Yeah, it was like a tink. Yeah. And it's like something thumped the top of my can, right, and my suppressor, and I was like,
"That was weird."
Damn it! Because I just got it in. And this is when it took 6 months to a year to get it in, you know, and now it takes like 3 or 4 months. But I was pissed, man.
For you,
yeah.
you take me a year and a half.
Knows what's up? See, supporting our military brethren. Hell yeah.
You know,
do right.
If I want a suppressor, I got to jump through a bunch of hoops and wait at least a year. Tax stamp.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Federal, yep.
Yeah. Donate to Hillary Clinton. I mean, you guys got to do over there on the east side.
Nope. I can't carry more than 10 rounds, Chris.
That's against your constitutional right.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Well, I'm not saying that I don't.
Hold on.
Legally, I'm not supposed to.
Their constitution is up for suspension and review and renewals and review. You know, every 3 months.
It's craziness, man. So they actually, with our previous governor, they lightened up on the gun laws so that you could get a concealed carry without being a business owner and all that stuff. You just had to basically say it was for personal protection, and they were giving them out left and right. So the new governor just got in, and now he's getting around like the constitutional laws and all that stuff. He's getting around the concealed carry laws. He just passed some laws here that any private establishment can basically say we're not allowing you to bring your firearm in.
Oh man!
So you can't carry them in like public places or
we have that businesses. Here in Texas.
That's so now they're being sued by the NRA and it's a whole thing and just it's ridiculous.
Oh, sorry about that. The NRA, they're not gonna do much, but we have that here in Texas. So you have the ability to with concealed carry. You can carry. It's 30-02, 30-03. I forget what the numbers are, but yeah, there's two different. There's like a private business. Now, if they sell alcohol and if 51% of their business, their revenue is from alcohol, you're not allowed to take a gun in there. You can't take it into schools, all that stuff, right? So you have gun-free zones, whatever, here in Texas. But for private establishments, like in my building, in one of my buildings that I lease out, the landlord doesn't want firearms. right? He just doesn't want it. So he
Right.
puts up no firearms allowed, right? Bam. But that legally that has no standing in Texas.
Right.
They have to
Right.
get a certain.
Well, here with this new law, it would. So it kind of negates the concealed carry.
Yeah. Well, now we have
Which is
constitutional
crazy.
carry. Whenever we pass yeah. So if I walked in with the concealed handgun into that establishment, and if that's, I think it's 30.1 or 0.2 or 0.3, I forget what it is. I'm sure someone will pull it up. But
Teddy One's over there commenting.
yeah. So if I walk into a business that has that legal, you're not,
Right.
30.7. If that means that even with a concealed a license to carry, concealment license, whatever, a registered gun owner, if you whatever you want to call it, not registered, but a licensed gun owner,
Mhm.
I still can't take it into that business. And if I did, and they found out, it was a felony, right? That was
Wow.
before we had constitutional carry passed, and they brought it down from a felony to a misdemeanor. So now if I walk in and they've got that, and they say, "Hey, I'm going to call the police," all I got to say is, "Hey, man, I'll leave. I'll go put my
Right.
gun up, or I'll leave." And if the police show up, it's at their discretion. They can say, "Hey, man, get out of here." Or if I'm branded, if I'm threatening people, it's a different story. But
Oh yeah,
obviously-
that's.
but
yeah.
but the thing is now it doesn't. I can still carry in there. I don't have to worry about losing my right to carry.
Right.
You can just be a misdemeanor in a sense.
The
I
thing
know
that just
I wouldn't
yeah.
want to talk about guns, but Ashley, you get Amazon package down there. Is it just like, I mean, you go online and you get them in a couple of days? Is it just like that down there too?
I would
I mean,
assume so. But
I would assume too, but
Yeah.
I've actually never even, I would assume all these things that
Right.
we live are similar, but I mean, is Amazon, you order it, you get in a couple weeks, or is it like, man, you can get stuff? Because like where
Like,
I
you
live,
have Prime.
I got Prime, and I'm
Yeah.
telling you, where I live,
Nice.
anything else, it's like 2 weeks. But Amazon, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll order it like now before I go to work in the morning. It'll be here. I'll be like, where are these people at, man? They like fly
Everywhere.
helicopters and shit to my house. Or what?
Everywhere, man.
Helicopters.
We're everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is funny how they are, but
Yeah.
I was just curious as to how much like
Yeah.
Amazon does down there. I mean, they're like here, you order it, you get it. But
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not big on all that gun stuff and everything. People need to start voting.
But the thing that gets me, Chris, is if you look at the places that have the strictest gun laws, for instance, Maryland, Baltimore City, Chicago, they have the worst crime. There's a reason. There's a reason why that is a statistic, because criminals aren't going through legal channels to get their firearms,
Well, I think
and they know people are unarmed.
Well,
You
have
know
a
what's funny
whole-
about that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
You got a whole generation of people out there that were raised to be afraid of guns, and
True.
and
That-
so
that's
those
true.
generations,
Guns are bad.
Those
Yeah.
people are out there. Now, listen, a girl. Well, I shouldn't say a girl. A lady that I worked with. She moved away. So, but she had her son. He was in high school and knew my nephew and all that kind of stuff. And Kryptonian, thank you for the help that I know. For that. But he's a young boy, and he's very he didn't have his dad around, right? And the mom's great and everything like that. So he was very limited on like camping and fishing, stuff like that. So we'd take him places. And one time he came to us, he said he wanted to go to the gun range, right? Now I was like, this is a guy here that's probably never had a gun in his hand. And it was more along the lines that he was being not bet, but he was like, yeah, I could shoot a gun, no big deal. So when we got there, he got real nervous to the point where he was sweating bullets, man. It was like, I'm like, dude, calm down.
Right.
I mean, we're not even on live fire or anything like that. And he kind of whispered to me and everything like that. And I said, well, let's go outside of the range. So we went outside the range and took our
Hearing
gear off.
protection, and yeah.
And we were talking, and he was like, I am scared. He was really, really scared. I told him, I said, don't worry about it. I said, what we're going to do is I'll go in there and I will I will load it. I'll put it on the deck. When I'll motion you to come up. You come up, and I'll have you stand a certain way, and we'll get everything together, get your stance and everything like that. And then when you pick up the weapon, just keep it pointing downrange. Don't put your finger on the trigger, nothing like that. I'm going to be standing right behind you, and then what I'll do is I'll keep my hand on your back. And I said, when you feel you're ready, just aim forward, then take your finger and slide it in and put it on the trigger, and then pull it back, and then take your finger off the trigger and just set it down. And we'll just go with one shot, see how it goes. Man, by the time we were done, he is like, boom, 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 boom. This is the best time I ever had and everything.
No, rapid fire.
Yeah.
But he was all like,
You got to do that at least once when you're at the range, right?
yeah, he did awesome. And we ended up going like 5 or 6 times until
That's cool.
he moved away and everything. But you got a whole generation out there that have
Yeah.
heard.
Or
Right.
yeah, TV. Like I think Teddy One just said, yeah, TV and the news and everybody. Oh, guns are
Because
so- yeah.
my age, we're show and tell. We take our BB guns and pellet guns.
Yeah,
It was no big deal. It was no, and nobody even thought about the evil that is out there nowadays. And what it is it's just like a car, man. You can turn that car into a weapon,
people have done it. Yeah,
but you have to take a test. You have to you go through a whole class,
Yeah.
and training and all that kind of stuff. Your parents are on you. Make sure you're not drinking and driving. You're not texting and driving. You got to be responsible. You got to have an adult with you all the time. Do guns the same way, but don't. And I know people might be nervous about it, but teach them about it. And if they make an educated decision that they don't want to have anything with guns, great, that's fine.
Yep.
But educate them on it. That's what when we were kids, we were educated on. We didn't go into the woods to ride our bikes or do anything like that unless we had a pellet gun or a BB gun with us. And everybody had to strap on, and everybody was riding through the woods with their pellet guns and all that. And it was like nobody thought anything of it.
Yeah, the problem with the crime and the violence is people have to understand that it's not a gun thing. Because if you look over in like the UK, they have a knife epidemic.
Yeah.
So it's not a gun thing. It's a societal problem.
Right.
You know, it's society and the violence it's not a gun thing.
Which I was just watching a story today, like 48 hours on YouTube or something like that.
Take the guns away, people are going to find something else.
Well, it was in the UK. All right.
Yeah.
I finally saw a story. It was a guy in the UK, or maybe it wasn't 48 hours or something else, but it was a dash cam from, or a body cam from a London police officer. They find a guy, he's wearing a trench coat. He looks kind of weird walking the street. So there's burglars going around. He's like, so they kind of walks up to the guy and says, "Hey, you're carrying a duffel bag. You look suspicious. We've had burglars in the area. So what's in the bag?" And the guy was just kind of like, supposedly the guy was autistic and wasn't really answering the question. So they ended up searching him. So he's got his trench coat on the whole time. It's not like in America where, like, put your hands behind you're being detained, and they search you, whatever. They were like, "Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and search you." So they're kind of just patting him, checking his neck, kind of like here. They don't really check his coat, and they do check one of his pockets, and he's got empty casings, 38 revolver casings or 38 special, whatever it is.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, you got," and the cop goes, "This is funny." So he goes, so he calls into dispatch. He goes, "I'm arresting this guy over off of London Park Street because I believe because I believe he has bullet casings. I believe these to be bullet casings." Like, you don't know,
right?
You're a cop,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
I believe these to be. Maybe that's what he just has to say that.
Right.
Anyways, they get the guy to the jail, and then the sergeant walks in. So now you got the two cops that arrested him. And the guys, it shows him in the back of the car. He's handcuffed. He kept putting his hand in his pocket, so they handcuffed him. They get him to the jail, and then finally the sergeant walks in. The sergeant was about to retire like in 2 days or something like that, right? Walks in, he's like, "Look, you're being arrested because we believe you had bullet casings. We believe those are bullet casings. We don't know that they are. We think they are. So we're arresting you for that."
Tested, right?
Yeah, we gotta have them tested, right? We got to carbon date
Gotta
them.
send them to the lab. Yeah.
Because in London, we haven't had bullets in forever. So since the Americans left. But so the thing is that he's in the jail. He's still handcuffed in the back, behind him. While his hands behind his back, he's pulling out a revolver okay, from his coat. The cops missed it. He ends up shooting the sergeant.
Let's get ready to
sergeant dies.
retire.
Yeah, it's getting ready to retire.
Man.
And the point I'm making is, in a place where you're not allowed to have guns, period. The
Right.
guy had a gun.
Wow.
All right. So one thing I remember, and I remember me and Fowler, he would go back and he and I would go back and forth on the gun thing, especially when he was like, you know, I think it was on maybe a Prado show or something, but yeah, because Prado would say that, you know, in Texas everyone's got machine guns. This is stupid, man. Anyways,
Machine guns.
yeah, we all got machine guns, and anybody can go in and buy a machine gun.
Where
You
does
know,
machine
and if
guns
a
are
gun's silver,
$1940?
it's a revolver because they're all revolvers are silver. You
Right.
know, anyways, man. So I just remember that was probably one of the most interesting conversations I had about guns. Was with the guy from New York. Anyways, so Fowler would say, you know, hey man, you can go buy 50 caliber, man. You can go buy them. You know, you pop a trunk and buy them, which is true in Indiana, right? And then I remember he was like, the guns aren't coming. I guess if he's in Chicago or Detroit, that because the gun laws are so strict there, they're going across to a gun-free, to a I would say a gun, you know, where it's a gun, not free, but a pro-gun state,
Like a cash and carry kind of deal.
Well, no, like a pro-gun state.
Okay.
So this is the argument that most libtards have, right? Those that are anti-gun, you know, and they'll say we wouldn't have gun problems in our democratic cities if the Republican or the, you know, the pro-gun states wouldn't have guns. Well, it's like, let me get this straight. All the crime is happening in the anti-gun areas because they're all armed over there. You don't have shootings over there,
Right.
but the problem is them.
Right.
Okay, yeah, logically that makes no sense whatsoever. If by their logic, there should be a lot of crime over here too, but there's not. The criminals know there's no one can arm themselves over here, so they go
Correct.
across, get the guns. But anyways, I just think that it's hilarious that people actually believe that. Back to what Chris said. People are taught to fear guns now. Period.
Yeah, they are.
You know,
I mean,
and
and if you treated it just like any other tool that you would have, I mean, like, you know, this microphone. I mean, it's like, you know.
I mean, there's a reason why it's number 2 in the Constitution.
Yeah.
Our
What's that
forefathers
guy? What's that
knew
guy? Is
the
that
importance.
comedian?
Yeah.
He's like,
That's
forget
right.
it. I'm gonna look for that. But one of the other things that man, I just forgot what I was saying. I was gonna say something that Sky High was talking about.
The butcher knife.
Yeah, he was talking about butcher knives, baseball bats.
Violent crime's a powerful thing. Criminal will use anything at hand.
That goes back to the point that I'm trying to make is that everything can be an assault, anything. You know, I don't understand. See, it's especially strange to people like me because where I live, we have more powerful things than AR-15s. Way more powerful.
way more powerful.
And AR-15s, I mean, it's like picking on a grade school kid,
Right.
to the weapons that are out there.
Right.
And I don't
I know what you
understand
mean.
why it's AR-15s and how people are like, it's an assault rifle. No, it's not an assault rifle.
Yeah.
That's not what
AR does not stand for assault rifle. It's armament arms, but
all those things are crazy
But
to
anyways.
me. And it's like, man, if you ever saw my, 20 gauge or something like that, I mean, there's some stuff out there that would be like, but okay, all right. So they're upset about that. It's scary. It's got black and it's got features on it and stuff like that. I mean, whatever. But what really gets to me and what really makes me disconnect from most of like major cities and stuff is the fact that for the longest time, these people talked about how when Trump was in office. Now, I mean, you have problems with Trump and whatever. I'm not just was with Trump was in office. These people really did not like the government. I mean, they still probably don't like the government. But then they say, we don't like the government, bad, abusive, all that kind of stuff. But then you only want the government to be able to defend themselves.
Right.
You know, you want to take all the guns away from all the people, and no one's going to attack the United States because you have millions and millions and millions of people that have multiple guns, and you have a standing army just sitting around, just hanging out at the
Waiting for
the
it to pop
American
off.
Legion.
Right.
Someone said, some Canadian
Yeah.
one time was like, if they ever like invaded like the South or something like that, and he was being it was a joke about it, and he's like, man, before the army even got there, they'd be all like, hell yeah, boys, we took care of it. He said that no one would ever attack us because there's so many people that would be. And I know I know tons of veterans, and I know a lot of people that aren't veterans, but grew up around in the hill jacks that I know and everything. Every one of them are loaded with weapons, even the ones that are like
we don't even need like foreign attackers. Let's just look at BLM. They weren't attacking. They attacked Seattle. They attacked all the gun-free zones, and remember they quarantined, not quarantined, but they took over those cities. The police walked out. I mean,
I have a different view on BLM. You and I probably wouldn't agree on.
yeah. Well, my point on that is that it's only going to happen where people aren't armed. They're not going to do that in the place that I live. I tell you that right now. Probably not in the place that you live.
Right.
They're not going to do that.
Oh yeah, they won't do it.
Because in my community, the people that I run with are people that actually value life. Value our property and the hard work, and we have. We just want a safe community, and we will fight for that.
This is where I think the problem with BLM is, because I think the idea and the movement was good. Okay, I think it was good. I think they had some bad actors running it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But what
I
made
would
it
agree. I would agree with that.
bad- What made it really bad for BLM is white liberals, because they came in and they were like, okay, BLM, that's a good thing, but you need our help to make it work, and I'm telling you, you see any of those, like, I guess Antifa, I don't know who it is, but
I've literally had, speaking of
people
Antifa,
that are arrested, they're white people that live in the suburbs. And it's
I've
like,
had
dude, I
white
thought this
liberals
was
tell
BLM.
me, I've had white liberals tell me, and from Antifa here in Houston, they're all over the place. It's funny, that tell me that I'm not Mexican enough
Oh,
to call myself Mexican. Yeah.
well, I didn't know that you were.
Oh yeah,
Mexican.
I'm
I
a
thought
white
you were
Hispanic. They call me a white Hispanic, is what they call me.
What, aren't you the Mexican from
What the hell does that mean, man?
you're
People love to put labels on shit.
the
don't they?
Mexican from
Like-
Texas?
Yeah, I'm the Mexican from Texas. Remember that one? You and that Mexican from Texas.
Yeah,
that
he
one
was
guy.
mad as hell at us, and then he's
Yeah,
like,
man. Yeah, you don't remember that. I think you were on breaking our, but were you here when we were talking about that? Somebody in Discord called me the Mexican from Texas.
I remember.
Yeah,
it was
but,
great. It was classic. Actually,
You
I was
and that
like,
one Mexican from Texas. Like,
I think I even
like that.
replied
It's actually
back and said, "What do you think
the
about
one."
this Mexican from Texas?"
there's a lot more of me here, brother. I promise you that, man.
It's
No.
funny too, because I've seen it, because where I grew up, it was predominantly white, but over the years, so the last 30 years, it's probably 60% not white, so all kinds of people live around. And the funny thing is, they all believe the same thing. They all are like, they want to protect what they have. They want to protect their neighbors. They want to be good, good for the community and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, there's all these people over there, in these inner cities. I know they're thinking the same thing, but they're being overrun by a lot of these people that come from the suburbs, these, high school, college age people that come from the suburbs to go in there to tell them how they need to live their lives. And it's like, come on. And that goes back to my point, is like, you seriously, it makes no sense. You don't trust the government. The government's bad, but you want them to be the ones that have all the guns. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So this doesn't make sense. So your argument, and that's when it bothers me, is because I'm like, wait, I can
no,
see-
and they want to defund the police that are the ones
Yeah.
supposed to have the guns.
But
It's
did you
like,
see? I saw that too. I need to.
liberalism
start
is a
reading
mental
about-
disorder, man.
Did you see
100%.
that lady that city council member that was? They show a video of her saying that we need to defund the police. Right? She ran on for re-election by defunding the police. And then you see her; she got beat up by some guy that carjacked her or something like that. She had
Oh
blood,
yeah.
and she's doing one of those stage pictures for like the Instagram or whatever, or the YouTubes or whatever, and she's she's doing that, and then she's out there and they're showing a speech where she's we need to fund the police.
I'm sorry. I got your money. Come back, right? It's
Yeah.
funny, man.
Please.
Yeah, don't ever trust any of them, man. I'm telling you.
No,
the
you're
truth.
right, but you're right, Chris. You know, they want, no one should own guns except the government. But I don't trust the government, so let's give the people we don't trust the guns. You know,
the problem is a lot of people, especially like in Baltimore City, they rely too heavily on the government for a lot of stuff.
that's how
A lot.
Harris
Yeah.
You know
County,
what?
man.
You
A
know what
lot.
that was about. That's
Hey, Gus.
that's government right there,
Yep.
man. Because I'm telling you,
Government overstepping is what
when I
it
was a
is.
young kid, this is
Mhm.
and I hope this doesn't come across racist, but the
I
black
think I know where
community-
you're going, but it
the black community when I was young, man, every father, mother, they were married,
Yep.
they had good homes, hardworking people, all that stuff. And in my lifetime, the government got involved, and they have purposely, I think, and I think it's people that are
LBJ,
in
bro.
office right now. I think people that are in
LBJ.
office right now purposely knew and helped facilitate the destruction of the black community in our lifetime. Now
No
they're
doubt.
starting to
Lyndon
rebuild.
B. Johnson
doubt.
said, "We will, if we." It was said. What did he say? My dad taught me this.
They killed every black person.
He says,
that
if
was
we
black.
pass this new deal, it wasn't the new deal. I forgot what it was called, but it was about
Civil
the
rights?
welfare. Yeah, it was a civil rights thing. If we pass this, he goes, we will
Talking
have
about LBJ.
LBJ. We'll have every black vote for 100 years, and they
They
sure
didn't
do
say
now.
black though.
Yeah, right. Gus says that Kryptonian, you're a chicon, bro. I think I said that right. Thanks, man. I've heard that a few times. I appreciate that, Gus.
What is a Chico?
Not a chicon.
I thought that's what you said.
I know because I can't speak Spanish.
Chicon.
Not.
Is that-
I'm a chingon.
Chingon.
I mean,
You know
I'm
that-
a.
The,
I can't
the guy
explain
that lives down the street.
He
from
says,
me
"No
now-
mames." That's a Mexican thing.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But there's a guy that lives down the street from me, right? That he owns a Mexican restaurant, right? You know, in the small downtown area, and I go there once in a while. But one of the guys that works with him, he was near my house, and he cuts down trees and does some landscaping on the side. But he also works at the restaurant, and we became friends and everything like that. And I saw him out one day, and I was like, "Hey," he had a trailer for wood, and I said, "Hey, if you ever get any extra wood," I said, "just drop it on my, in my drive path, and you just drop it there. I'll pick it up, and I burn stuff all the time and everything." And he was like, "Oh, that's cool." So he dropped off a few loads and everything like that. But I never met the guy that lived down the street, but I knew like the guy that worked with him. So I went and met the guy, right? So something came up or whatever. He's got like a Chevy truck, and I was stopped in a certain area, and I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Good." And he started walking over to me because I think he was going to ask me a question. And I got really nervous because I didn't know for sure he owned a Mexican restaurant. And I didn't want to assume. And the sign on it says Mexican restaurant. Potro or something like that. But it says
Patron.
Mexican
Oh,
restaurant.
Patron, probably.
But when he was walking over to me, I got real nervous because I was like, "Wait, do I call him Mexican or Spanish? Or what do I say?" And I was like, because I didn't want to be like, because I thought he was Mexican because he owned a Mexican restaurant, but then I didn't want to assume that when he came over. And I said, "Dude," and he got over there, and I said, "Dude, listen." And he said, "What?" And he kind of smiled.
We all look alike. I get it. Go
I
ahead.
said,
Go
"Dude,
ahead.
I don't know if you're Mexican or not, but I don't want to call you one thing or the other." And he goes, "No, I'm Mexican." I was like, "But I didn't want to assume that because you got a Mexican restaurant." He said, "If I wasn't Mexican, I wouldn't have a Mexican restaurant." I'm like,
Let me tell you,
I don't know.
Venezuelans,
Got a point.
Honduras,
Yeah.
don't call them Mexican, bro. They
Yeah.
losing shit. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
he is Mexican. And he was
Mexicans
like,
don't
"Yeah,
care.
yeah,
Mexicans don't care whether you get it. We don't care, man. We look. We're brown. Who cares? But Venezuelans, and I learned this from personal experience. I mean, one of my wife's friends from work that she worked with a few years ago, I thought she was Mexican. I was like, "Is your friend Mexican?" Just don't say that. She's from she's Venezuelan. Yeah,
Oh,
because
Fallon's
we
here.
went over to eat at her house. I think she invited us for dinner one time, and the food was not like traditional Mexican. They make different types of. I mean, it's still more or less rice and beans and tortillas, but that sounds so stereotypical, right? But it was made differently, and I was like, this isn't a traditional taco. I want Taco Cabana's type food, man. I mean, you hear Tex-Mex if you've ever heard of that, man. I'm used to that stuff. So, but I learned quickly you don't mistake them for that. But yeah, I get called, I don't know, I get called Arabic all the time. I get called Mexican, I've been called white Hispanic, many times, but I've never confused you, Chris, for like, are you Irish, German?
Do you know what I am?
Yeah, I know what you are.
What am I?
German.
Only part. I'm more Cherokee.
Your name is German, but it's a good, so.
Well, my grandfather was German, but my grandfather and my grandmother were both Cherokee Indian. My mom's mom and dad. So
my mom is half Apache, right? And my grandma is.
So I have like two Cherokee Indian, Irish, and German.
Man, so wow, okay. I could definitely see the German, like whenever you stand up, because you walk like that, you put your hand out.
But you know what's even more amazing? You know what's even more amazing about that is that on the American Indian side, the Cherokee Indian, I have like a fourth great grandfather or whatever that was like captain in the Union Army. He was an Indian, like full-blooded Indian in the Union Army, and he died in Tennessee. He's buried in Tennessee.
Wow, man! So full-blooded
Indian that was a captain back then.
Cool, man, that's cool.
Yeah, that is pretty neat. I mean,
because you don't look like Indian at all, So,
well, I think as I get older, when I was younger, that I had.
Well, I did. Okay.
Dark skin.
You know what? I remember you showing us that picture of you when you were younger. I could see it.
Yeah, when I was younger, and my kids,
you got the high cheekbones like Elizabeth Warren.
Kids
hey,
were like,
I'm just saying,
very dark and all that stuff as they get older. But you know what? Whatever, Fowler. No. I wish you were here, buddy. I wish you were here to protect me against.
I started talking about guns. The Fowler's like, somebody's talking about guns again. Nah, bro. That's cool though. That's cool that you actually had someone in the that was a captain. Like which tribe was he from? What was he?
Cherokee.
Okay. Man, I wish that I could actually find what tribe my my grandma was from.
I mean, they just went by. They were Cherokee Indian, and his name was given to him. He was a smith worker, an ironsmith or whatever, like a blacksmith, but he'd form iron stuff. So his last name is Smith, and that passed down for generations. But that's not his real name.
Yeah, he doesn't like Smith at all, right?
Something I forget. There's something somewhere about what his real name
was. It Chief Smith or just Smith?
No, it was something like a crawl. So I'd have to talk to my sister about it. But and my uncle that comes from the Irish side, sixth uncle is Daniel Boone.
Nah, man.
I'll even show it to you. You'll be like, what?
I want proof. You can't, extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. You can't be dropping the Boone name, bro.
I'm telling you, Boone.
That's like no.
Dude, listen to this. Listen, my grandmother, my great grandmother, her maiden name was Boone. That's how close the line was.
Dude, that's cool, man. That's cool.
That is pretty cool.
From Maysville, Kentucky.
Let me guess. You're related to Davy Crockett. I will be pissed off. You know what David
Not that I know of.
You know what Davy Crockett's famous words were, right?
Wait, you did not even. And you know what? I noticed Ashley is laughing at a lot of your jokes now.
Thanks, Ashley. I think
I've lost her.
At least somebody's laughing.
I have David and I have Jackson. That's all I'm going to say. They're buddies of mine.
Yeah, they're cool, man. They're cool. What's up, Jackson? What's up, David?
And I don't know what Gus is talking about.
Jackson's a cool name, man. I like Jackson. What's that? Should we call Chris Pocahontas?
Listen, you must have a good time or whatever.
We need to call him Poca something. We'll figure it out. I'll call you Poca Cruz. But actually, the Boone thing, you got me on now. That's freaking cool.
Actually, man. I think I got Elijah Boone is Elijah Boone is the brother of Daniel Boone, and he is my sixth great grandfather.
That's freaking cool, man.
Yeah, but he's the brother, and Daniel Boone had like 7 brothers or something like that. So there's a lot of brothers. So
Yeah, but you're related. I'm telling you, because that's not that long ago. And, in Texas or just in the US, when you're talking about, the forming of the states and the union, whatever. I mean, those names, that's what we learned growing up, Crockett, especially in Texas, everybody, you all can go to hell. I'm going to Texas, I mean, Texas is where it's at, man. That's why you drink out of a plastic cup and I drink out of a glass. Just saying. Remember that from earlier? All right, guys, we're going at this for 2.5 hours. He's going to get pissed off at me, and I don't like when Chris is pissed at me, man. He's my bud,
and
man.
Sky High, you can just shove it too, buddy.
Thanks, Guy, man. I appreciate you. He knows what I'm talking about. Guy knows.
Guy's getting on my case.
Where's Fowler at? Where's that dude at?
He was busy tonight.
Making NFTs.
Yeah, he's always working, man.
Yeah, I missed you, Fowler,
what
man.
is this? So he
Oh man, dude, they had
Jesus was my 7th cousin.
yeah. He's like, it's like
that's not true.
Ancestor.com. It's like
Right.
Chris is on everybody's freaking chart.
I did read something. If you go back 8 generations,
Oh man.
it took 45. You'd have to read it and make sure, but I'd have to see it. But something like you go back 8 generations, 45,000 people had to make the decision for you to be here. Like you go back all those, someone had to marry this person, someone had to marry this person, and have this baby, and 8 generations back, 45,000 people had to.
Well, that's why they say it's a numerical anomaly that you're even here on this planet at this point in time because of that. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, when you really think about that,
you're that special. You know what I
you
mean?
are that special.
Yeah.
I mean, and this will be a Wednesday conversation, but when we talk about why they want people to think you're not special, and that'll be a Wednesday conversation. Fowler, there ain't no way. Did he say he was a bit of coleslaw? What I saw
Chickasaw.
Chickasaw.
Oh. Where's he
Get
at?
out of here, man.
Yeah. Wait. Where's he at?
Chris and Eve.
Gus, listen.
Funny,
I
man.
hope you have a very
Back in
safe
Genesis.
trip, but I'm gonna make sure you can.
That's funny, dude. He said Chris and Eve.
Oh, you know what, Gus? You've earned yourself a mod position. Fowler, I can't believe you're not.
Adam was Chris's son. Damn.
Gus.
Dude, if you
Why
need to
does
look
that
like
make
Zeus,
you
Chris, that's what it is, man. You got
Right.
you got that jaw, bro. And
Say one more thing, Gus, because I want to see it come up, and I want you to see it. That
Damn,
was
everybody's all quiet.
ridiculous. You see what? Watch this. Watch this.
I'm watching it.
Look, why you got the fireworks going on behind you, man?
I'm having a good time, man. Moses is Chris's great grandfather.
Richard Hudman too, man. This
Say
is turning into, if you got to say anything about me, I'm just gonna make you a mod.
I know, right? I know that's wrong, man. Because you're like, that's not cool. You do that because every single one of everybody in this channel can block me. You know what I mean? Like it.
Teddy
So I don't
One,
post-
I
so I
think
don't
Teddy
post it
One
on.
had to take care of business the other day or something. I'd make them all mods, you know.
Working, man. All right, guys, we've been doing this for 2.5 hours. I appreciate everybody being here. This is fun, man.
Yeah, man.
I love getting up here from the boys. What's that?
Now I appreciate you guys hopping on,
the
man.
wine.
Yeah. It happens. It happens, Gus. It happens.
You know, I think
Rich
we're gonna have.
Hudman, you got to put another comment because I made you an admin, so I want to see your wrench. You made
You made you an admin.
Too. Huh?
You made him an admin.
Yeah. I just noticed some of these guys aren't, admin.
right on.
I figure, hey, if anything happens, they can just fight it out themselves. Yeah, he's got his wrench. There he is. Oh, is
There it
that we're
is.
gonna go here, huh?
You boom, the Fudkin Crusaders. Love it.
I love that one.
That
That's
is hot,
pretty
man.
cool.
That is hot.
Funny.
I do.
All
like
right, man.
that.
Any last word, guys, before we get out of here? We appreciate everybody jumping on. We'll be back doing this again on Wednesday, and then Friday we got that meet and greet with Nick. You know, we hopefully get some news and updates what's happening with going on with some happenings and what's going on with Vitruvio. Hopefully,
It
some
is
good
cool
stuff.
too to see how it progresses.
Yeah, it is, man.
A week at a time. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
yeah.
that's
And
really
it has been. It had
Right.
you know, things are getting
Right.
done. So I
Yep.
feel the momentum. It feels good, you know. Motion creates emotion, right? And that's what we want,
especially
right?
as we were so stagnant for quite some time.
Yeah, year and a half, man.
Yeah.
And we thought we were moving. That's
Right.
that's the worst part about it,
Right.
right?
We
thought-
take 2 steps forward and 10 back. You know?
Oh gosh, that was horrible,
Yeah,
man.
no doubt.
That's
But now I
horrible.
appreciate you guys jumping on. I know it was kind of impromptu.
No, it's
kind
fun,
of,
man.
You know,
Always
so
fun.
I appreciate you guys jumping on, hanging out. So
Yeah, man.
definitely cool. Definitely cool. So
I know. It's always a good time to hang out with you guys.
Yeah. So for those of you guys that we hope to see you guys on Wednesday, where we actually let our hair down and talk about things of old and things of new.
those of us with hair.
Yeah, those was yeah.
Hey, did you
I'm-
get? I know Sonny's not here, but I started those. Did you get to
Nay on the
some of
ball-
these questions?
Was that which one?
I think we got to most of the questions.
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay.
Did we miss
Yeah.
some guys?
I
You talking
started
about
a
like
bunch of
Sonny's questions and all that stuff? Yeah, we got them.
All right.
She was good to go. And yeah, no, appreciate you guys hanging out. Always a good time. I love how the conversation just kind of goes all over the place. That's how it should be.
Yeah,
know?
man, it's having fun, guys, and
Yeah,
we're
man.
getting getting some participation from the crowd there. It's fun, guys. We love to hang out with you. You know, I love it. I love these guys, but I also love hanging out with you guys and have you opine and watch me make a fool of myself. So, unless you guys got some last words, we're gonna call it, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. You guys good?
All
right.
Sounds good,
All right.
man. Keep an eye out for the book coming out.
Yeah,
Coming soon.
yeah. The
guys.
book we didn't talk
Coming
about it,
soon.
but we will be talking about
Yeah,
that. I'm
books-
gonna let you
books
slide
coming
this
soon,
time.
guys.
All
Books
right,
coming
all right.
soon.
Guys, I say this often, and do right and fear no man, and we will see you guys on the blockchain.